Oh, I didn't check our images. This podcast is brought to you by JList.com. Guys, it's Christmas season, and JList knows what you want for Christmas, and that's a nice Pokemon plushie to go along with your Pokemon Sword and Shield. You're going to want to be hugging one of these plushies. They've got all the EVs you could ever want. They got Pikachu, Snorlax, Cubone, Mew, Charmander, Psyduck, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, everything you want. And I tell you what, after Cubone clubs someone over the head in your new Pokemon game, and you look down and you say, "Oh, Cubone, you're so great," and you're petting your little Cubone plushie that you're holding, everything's going to feel good. And you can get them in Moon Yumaru and normal plushie versions as well, including neck pillows. Everything is $17 or less. Head over to JList or JBox.com. Grab yourself a cute Pokemon plushie to go along with your Pokemon game. And, of course, we're also brought to you by Bookwalker. Do you have a craving for manga or light novels? Head over to Bookwalker to check out their large selection of digital manga and light novels. They also offer a free book once a month, and you can use their coin reward program where every purchase gets you closer to receiving a free book. So go to global.bookwalker.jp and sign up. After creating a new account, you can use the promo code AAAPOD to get 600 yen off your first purchase. That's global.bookwalker.jp. Use the promo code 600. Use the promo code AAAPOD to get 600 yen off your first purchase. And now let's start the podcast.
You're listening to the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast. Take your anime addiction to the next level at aaapodcast.com/join. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Guys, welcome to the podcast, episode 503 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast, live on Twitch. Hello to everybody watching live. I'm your host, Mitsugi, and I am joined by the M&Ms. We have 3 M's today. It's Mitsugi, Mandi, and Mason. What's up, guys?
The cast. Hey, guys.
How's it going, everyone? The Twitch chat is popping off right now. I love it. Hello to everybody.
People very talkative. Hello, everybody over there on Twitch. If you want to come over to our website, you can do it at aaapodcast.com/join, where you can get our hentai episodes, our hobby addicts, and our after parties. We're bringing you exclusive content every single week. In case you are addicted to us and not just anime, you will have extra content to feed your addiction. We want to make sure that's working well for you. And we are also over at twitch.tv/AAApodcast. If you guys want to follow us on Twitch to watch live, usually there's some video-friendly content every episode that will make it worth your while. And, of course, we're also over on Facebook. We are on Twitter. And, of course, on the Discord. You can find the Discord easily from our homepage. Along the top, there's a Discord button. You can come join the 1,700 people or however many are in there popping off and talking trash and hugging and reading mangas and just having a good old time. Guys, what's going on the Discord?
Oh, so much. Normally, I'd say, hey, go over there and put your submissions in for the best of the decade poll. You're out of time, buddy. You missed your shot.
Oh,
you gotta
shit.
come back next decade. Don't worry, though. There's other polls from Family Feud to the Discord Awards to the upcoming Best of 2019, where we really dig deep. But, there's all kinds of stuff for you to fill out over there. Mandi and I have beaten the council. Mission accomplished. Demon Days over. So now we're fully on the Danganronpa boat, and we've been plowing through that. By this time, if you're listening to this, probably all 3 videos will have been on YouTube, and more coming down the pipeline.
2 right now.
2, but
3's coming soon.
3's coming soon, but with more recordings about to ramp up. So get excited for that.
Yeah. Like I said last week, if you were not here and didn't have a chance to listen to it yet, Manga Club is on hiatus until June, not July, sorry.
Ooh.
Sorry, January 8th. I just went all over the J's. I'm so sorry. January 8th. We'll be reading Initial Dino Crisis Edition.
Oh, I thought you said Initial D. Oh, God, I got excited.
AKA Steel Ball Run. So go to our Discord, go to Manga Club chat, and check out the pin notes. January 8th is when we will be discussing it, and you just got to pop in the chat. You don't even have to talk. If you just want to come and listen, you can do that. We have a fantastic group. It's super laid back. Anyone is welcome to join.
Yes, just like that, though, Anime Club is also on a temporary hiatus because of the holiday season. Last week, we had a very polarizing discussion about Tokyo Godfathers, and it was a whole bunch of fun, and it led to, like, hours of post discussion and memes and just a good time.
Wait a second. Can I stop you real quick? How could Tokyo Godfathers possibly be polarizing?
I agree. I don't know how people can like it. I think it's overrated beyond belief, and Satoshi Kon's worst movie by a landslide. Anyway, if you
he does hate Christmas.
That's very true.
Don't be an elitist.
So if you wanted to give your 2 cents, then you should have come to Anime Club. But if you want to, we've already talked about Tokyo Godfather. So next time, on January 15th, we will be talking about the entire first season, all 24 episodes of Durarara. So you got time, you got means, you've got the break to do it. Watch the show, show up January 15th. We'll see you there.
Look forward to that, so Mason can talk shit on that as well.
Mason.
All right.
I mean, it's everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, we still love you, Mason. Don't worry. And and as Mason said, even if you missed out on voting for the best anime of the decade, well, sorry, sucker. There's always next decade. So
exactly.
Yeah.
There's only 3,650 days to go. And,
put it on your calendar.
Yeah, put it in your iPhone. If that goes out 10 years. But we're gonna at least talk about the best anime of the decade today on the podcast, which includes all of what we think are the best anime of the decade, and then I'm sure we're going to be going through all the poll results of all of those different, things that you guys weighed in on. And then, of course, we're going to be doing a review on Space Battleship Yamato, 1974. So stick around for that.
I like the English dub version.
Oh, get out of here with that shit.
It's good. I had it stuck in my head all week.
Here we go from planet Earth, gonna save the universe. Yeah. It's the Yamato. Okay, wow.
It's our Star Blazer.
Star Blazer. That is a pretty badass name, though. Star Blazers.
Yeah.
Mandy gets finished telling me how bad the dub is, and then she's like, "The theme song in English is so great." Okay, all right.
She's not wrong. Star Blazers also just sounds like a very cool suit piece to wear.
It does.
Oh, let me just put on my Star Blazer real quick.
It probably is. There probably is an article of clothing that has that name. Guys, let's get right into it.
大ニュースです。It's time for big news of the week.
Crunchyroll has taken some kind of a survey that now has the top most anticipated anime from the next season, Winter 2020, amongst Japanese people. So this is the from the motherland of anime's opinion. And
Number
10, A God of Destruction Sits Next to Me. I've never heard of this. Has anybody heard of this?
Neither have I.
It's done by...
I didn't even look at this one yet. I haven't really looked at much of the list. I saw a lot of manga minute things on there.
You can read the future, so it's not surprising.
Yeah.
It's a slice of life school comedy by EMT Squared. So the slice of life school comedies never quit coming. And EMT Squared, though, I mean, I'm looking through their stuff, and it's just not like a glowing resume. So, I mean,
these character designs aren't leading to much inspiration either.
Their highest rated show ever was Renai Kobun, which had a 6.8 and is, I think, an ecchi comedy. So I don't know, but maybe this is going to be a totally different story from the past stuff.
Number 9.
Mandy, what's number 9? I know you love it.
Oh, it's Orphan, the reboot.
That's right.
I can't wait. Look, Orphan Orphan has had some good points and hit some rough spots.
It has a good theme
excited,
song.
though. Yeah, it does. And I think this is a remake of the original, so it's going to be Azale! Where are you, Azale?
He's gonna do. They're gonna have the commercial breaks where he goes ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da, and he does his cool pose. I love that shit. Now it's Studio Dean though. How do we feel about that?
Fine.
Questionable.
Oh,
Fine. They've been on a
okay.
roll lately.
Have they?
They did Rakugo. Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. It's certainly a better resume.
Wild card.
They also did Higurashi, Konosuba. They've got some good stuff. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Won't talk too much shit on Studio Dean. And number 8. Mason?
This is another one that was on the Manga Minute. Inspector. I think that was the one you did last week, correct?
Next week.
Yeah.
Inspector.
Are you excited? You think it will?
I don't know. I feel like
Henry
we have
will
seen.
blend
I feel like we have seen this like yokai kind of mystery story a billion times. So I don't know. It's questionable. But I mean, if you love yokai kind of stories, or these kind of supernatural stories, I'm sure you would probably dig it. Who is making it?
Brainsbase. Studio Brainsbase is making it. Which I'm going to be honest, I thought Brainsbase was gone, but maybe that was someone else I was thinking about.
Split with what was it, Shika? Who split off to do Natsume?
According to this, I think Natsume is under Brainsbase.
Yeah, both Natsume and Durarara moved to the same place. I can't remember who it was though. My brain is.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on to number 7.
Number 7.
Rika ga koi ni ochita no de shoumei shitemita, which is, does that even have an English title? It doesn't. But it's Studio Zero G, based on a web manga comedy romance. Studio Zero G, they did Grand Blue, which people liked a lot. And, if you look down their credits here, there's not much else. Dive, I've heard of that. Battery, that was like, oh, God.
That was a Noi Tamina show that was underwhelming, to say the least.
So, and they did My Roommate is a Cat. So those are that's the recent stuff. But I don't have much to say about that. I mean, I don't even, that doesn't even have an English title yet. I'm not really sure. I mean, what else to say there?
Number 6.
Mandy?
Also, it was Shuka, Shuka, the studio.
I said Shuka, I think. That was close.
You were close, yeah. But the next one is Uchi. Oh, nope. That's the one that you just did, isn't it? No, I'm sorry. It's Uchi Tama. Uchi no Tama Shirimasen ka. And there's no English translation for it right now. So just look up Uchi Tama. And this one is by Studio Mappa. I don't know anything about it. It's an original slice of life. Looks like there's some cats involved.
Oh yeah, there's cats like everywhere in the art. Cat.
Yeah.
Girls wearing cat hats. Cat girls. Cat paw prints. Cats themselves.
Is this Nekopara?
Oh no. This is not Nekopara. But that is coming.
Oh my goodness.
I can't wait to check out.
I can't believe that Dore Hadoro is only at 15 on this list, but I can't believe Nekopara isn't higher. That's what the people want.
Yeah, right.
Next up,
Number 5
is.
I am excited for this one. The sequel. Oh, sorry. Go right ahead. I interrupted you.
No, I think it's your turn.
It's your turn.
It was the follow-up to Yuru Camp. This is Heya Camp with the Delta Triangle symbol on top of it. It should be extra comfy. I'm excited.
Doesn't Heya mean room? Well, like a bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure that there's no kanji here. It's just got it's just katakana, I guess, or it's in hiragana. So I don't know. Like
it's probably room camp.
Okay, room camp. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
What mountain did they climb in the last one?
Did they climb a few?
I don't know. Japan doesn't have any tall mountains, which is why I was asking. I mean, relatively speaking.
They went all over the place in the last one.
Yeah.
I'm all like mountain elitist now. I'm like, unless your mountain's at least 14,000 feet, I don't even want to hear about it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean this is an anime that's going to be. I mean, it'll be one of the most frequently watched shows probably from the season. So I would think.
Super comfy.
Yeah. Next up.
Number 4.
Oh boy. Isekai Quartet season 2. Of course. They'd make another one.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it looks like they've added characters. I'm trying to look at the picture here to see who they are, but I can't.
I know Shiohira is in this one. And I think Rinmaru from Slime, I think, is.
Yeah, I don't see them in the picture on this Crunchyroll article. But
yeah. Well, it's not really a quartet anymore, is it? If they add more, it's a quintet or a septet or an octet, right? So.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. Next up.
Cancel.
Number 3.
To the 3 that people actually probably care about. Number 3.
The next one is Madoka Magica's coming back with Magia Record. And by Shaft again. So super interested in seeing this. Is this a series? I thought it was going to be a movie, but no, I guess it is a series. It's coming out.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about it, but considering the popularity of Madoka Magica, I'm kind of surprised this wasn't number 1. But I guess it has been a long time since Madoka was like doing things. So.
Yeah.
Number 2, I'm not surprised.
Number 2.
Mason?
A Certain Scientific Railgun T.
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak to this at all. I have not seen anything actually from the Railgun franchise.
So I have seen all of the other Railgun stuff, and it's been consistently good action, I would say, but the last Index show I watched was not to my liking at all, even remotely. So I don't know. I'm tentatively interested. I know that the Railgun Girl is pretty badass, and I know that this show is really popular, so I'm not really too shocked about Japan, but it's kind of like a sci-fi school action show, so it's pretty cool. And of course, number 1, not shocking.
Number 1.
Mandi, blow our minds.
Oh, you want me to do it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, it's Haikyuu. Haikyuu's coming back.
Oh boy, I didn't see that coming. Didn't see it coming.
Everyone's excited for this. I'm very happy it's coming back.
In order for me to be excited, I'd have to watch seasons 2 and 3. So,
but 3 is a shorter one.
Season 1 was really good.
Season 1 is very good, and isn't there also a 2-episode OVA?
I don't know.
Of Haikyuu coming out as well.
No pressure, luck.
Oh, I don't know.
I think there's a new one coming out as well with it. So I'm excited for more Haikyuu.
Don't pressure luck. Okay, so lots of good stuff coming out. Was there anything else on that list you guys wanted to mention? I just wanted to go through the top 10, but I know that there's other shows on there.
I brought up Doro earlier, but excited for that. Excited for
Dodo.
Yep, Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken. That's the new one by Science Saru, which is Masaki Yuasa's studio. I watched the first half of that at Anime NYC. It looks like a goofy time. So excited. And of course, Oda Cinnamon Nobunaga, which is all the dogs? All the dogs, all the floofers, all the woofers, or the fluffers, or the puppers. They're all.
If you want to get me interested in more history, make them dogs and cats.
I see Rose every season. It's like, guys, you need to check out this Nobunaga one. This is one that's actually good. And he says that every single season. We all say, we believe you, but we don't do it. We might check out this one. We might just have to.
All right, guys. Let's keep it rolling here. That's the wrong drop. My bad.
Howdy, partner. I seen you riding in on that dusty trail. Welcome to the good, the bad, and the moe.
Some good stuff here, guys. For the good, Kyoto Animation, more of them and their donations. They're going to close their donation bank account on December 27th, and that's not why it's good news, but they have received $27 million in donations as of October 17th. And the thing about this that I thought was especially good is that they're going to be turning over control of the donation account to the Kyoto government, who will oversee the donation money and make sure that it's transferred to the victims of the fire and their families. So that is not how I thought they were going to use the money, but it seems like a very worthwhile way to use it. So glad to see Kyoto having a lot of empathy. Kyoto Animation. They're not going to, and as I said, they're not going to be handling any of that money themselves. So there's probably some kind of a legal requirement that says that they need to turn it over to be controlled by someone else. Sentai Filmworks confirmed earlier this month also that they had sent their final distributions from the GoFundMe over to the studio. For the bad, another anime studio bites the dust. Tier Studio from the company Next Batters Circle Co., which was founded in 2013, it has decided that they're going to cease all operations, even though they have a film that has yet to release, and they are going to be filing bankruptcy paperwork. They owe 43 million yen, which is, I mean, honestly, not much money, considering, in the scope of business, like $392,000 is really not a lot of money, but I guess it is for an anime studio. But they owe 73,000 of that to their animators, to 50 different animators, which I'm guessing the animators will probably never see that money since it's bankruptcy. And some of the works that the studio had worked on was Why the Hell Are You Here, Sensei? So no more sucking venom out of her thigh. No more random falling into the boobs.
How will we survive?
No more mischievous umbrellas.
No more, why are you here, Sensei, naked in the laundromat while your clothes dry? It's all over.
Frisky
it's all
fish
over.
toys.
It's all over. No more. Just kidding. Lords of Vermilion also. And I think the movie that never came out was Frag Time. I think
they showed it at Anime NYC.
Okay.
I watched it. I saw it. It was something.
Well, the article says that people that were working on Frag Time tried to contact the studio, and the studio never answered because it's not there anymore. Anyway, for the Moe, this is so stupid. A twin-tailed flasher in Japan's coldest prefecture strikes. So the Hokkaido Prefectural Police is looking for a man who was seen streaking in and exposing himself to, I presume, women in the frozen Hiragishi neighborhood in Sapporo, and has probably the worst streaking strategy ever proposed by a human. Witnesses say the man, who was in his 30s or 40s, was very overweight and had his hair in twin tails, the ponytail style that, Japan uses that term for ponytails. Not only that, he was dressed in a pink long-sleeved shirt, but had nothing else on, and which all I can only imagine took away from the attention of from where his goods, quote-unquote, were located, and as he wished to share them. Also, it is very cold in Sapporo, and we all know that cold air is not beneficial for the powering up of certain parts of the male body, and so attracting attention to his fun area was probably not a very big success, combined with everything else that he did to draw attention away from, the fact that he was streaking at all.
He was dressed for speed. Like, he didn't have to have anything to slow him down. He saw Run with the Wind once, and he's like, yep,
Mason knows from experience.
Exactly. Yeah,
Interesting.
Oil up so everything just slicks right by, and you just slide by the police. They can't catch you then. Ooh, classic.
Yeah, they can't catch me if they can't hold me.
Exactly.
They wouldn't even want to hold him.
Mason.
He naked. He's a naked man in a pink shirt with ponytails, sprinting through the streets of Sapporo with his ding-dong frozen, flapping around, but frozen nonetheless. So, more wild, ridiculous things that make national news in Japan, because Japan doesn't really have crime. Well, it does, but not a lot of it.
Not a lot. They don't have a lot to talk about.
Not much. And that's the good, the bad, and the moe, guys. So, as usual, there's not quite as good as stealing, 2 woolly mammoths worth of sweet potatoes, but, it's something. We're trying. Trivia, though, this week the answer was Dragon Ball. Probably the easiest trivia we've ever had. And it was based on the Christmas anime episode theme, because it is Christmas time. Merry Christmas to everybody. And you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna play the drop here. There we go. Let's play some Christmas music. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas and Merry Christmas trivia. So the winner for the week was Manly Mudkip. Thank you very much for playing. The picture was like half the Dragon Ball cast in like Santa suits. So I mean, it's kind of a gimme. So, but the new trivia is up if you want to try it out. It's on the website, so you can go enjoy that. All right. That's trivia.
We also have extra trivia for you, dear listener, right this very moment, and you have until the end of the news break to answer it. And that has to do with the show we're about to review. In space, Battleship Yamato. From where was the Garmilius assaulting Earth with contamination bombs? Think about it. We'll let you know.
Hey, all you anime addicts, Mitsugi is here, and I'm once again bringing you your first dose of anime news, starting off with the Crunchyroll Awards. The Crunchyroll Awards are going to be happening this year on February 15th. For those of you that are big fans of anime and like to know what the best shows from the year are, you can watch the Crunchyroll Awards on February 15th. The categories this year are, of course, Anime of the Year, Best Protagonist and Antagonist, Best Boy and Girl, Best Director, Best Animation, Character Design, Score, Best Fight Scene, and Best Couple. So look forward to this event coming up most likely concurrently with our own anime Oscars, which will be happening in the coming months. Next up, it looks like encouragement of Climb. The TV anime is getting a new project. This coming from the Twitter account for Earthstar Entertainment's Comic Earth Star magazine. They said that the manga will have, quote, a new project, but they didn't really clarify if the project is a new anime or not. But they did clarify that it is, yes, a new project. So the manga's 17th compiled book volume shipped on March 12th, and Earthstar Entertainment is going to be publishing the 18th volume on January 18th. It's a pretty popular show and property, and if you're a big fan of Yama no Musume, the encouragement of Climb, well, look forward to more coming out from that in some form in the future. Next up, a new season of World Trigger has been announced as well. This was announced at the Jump Festa 2020 on Saturday. Looks like it's returning to have a new season on TV Asahi. The synopsis, of course: when a gate to another world suddenly opens on Earth, Midako City is invaded by strange creatures known as neighbors, which are malicious beings impervious to traditional weapons. In response to their arrival, an organization called the Border Defense Agency has been established to combat the neighborhood menace through special weapons called triggers. Sounds exactly like Symphogear. So, although I haven't watched this. So if you're a fan of World Trigger, they're going to have more of this coming out as well. So look forward to that in the future. And rounding us out this time, it looks like Yakusoku no Neverland, or The Promised Neverland, is set to premiere with its second season on October 2020. So you're going to have to wait a little while for this one, but it is coming. This was announced by the official website of the property, Promised Neverland. It's going to be coming out on Fuji TV's Noitamina programming block in that October 2020 month. So for those of you that are big fans of this property, the first season, of course, was produced by Cloverworks. It aired 12 episodes in the winter of 2019. So if you want to go back and check it out, you can watch it streaming on Crunchyroll and other places as well, and get yourself caught up before the 2020 sequel. This was Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break. Now let's get back to the podcast. Anime Addicts, the AAA podcast, is always trying to bring you new and exciting ways to enjoy our content, and now we have an exclusive member-only RSS feed on the site that is going to let you access our hentai episodes, our Hobby Addicts, and our After Parties episodes, all from your favorite mobile apps. That's an additional 8 episodes of content per month just for you, and you can listen to it through Apple Podcasts app, you can listen to it through Podcast Addicts, Pocket Cast, Overcast FM, Downcast FM, etc., onward and onward. So many mobile apps for you to choose from. If you were holding back on supporting the podcast because you didn't like listening to our extra content through our website, now you can get it and listen to it the same way you enjoy all your other podcasts. So pitch in, help out the podcast, do a good thing, and enjoy all the extra content we have for you. Just go to aaapodcast.com/join, support the podcast, Merry Christmas, and you will get all this extra content and an exclusive member RSS feed for you to enjoy. That's aaapodcast.com/join, and support the podcast.
この番組は JList.com の提供でお送りします。
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit! Love MD Geist.
I couldn't tell.
Welcome back to the podcast, guys.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Mitsugi?
Oh yeah, I'm feeling it. All right, in-show trivia. What do we got? Can't wait for the answer.
Oh yeah, it's me, isn't it? Before we went on break, we asked you a question in Space Battleship Yamato. Well, from where was Garmilius assaulting Earth with contamination bombs? The answer was Pluto.
Classic Pluto.
Classic Pluto.
No longer a planet. Did you guys know that there's water on Pluto?
Pluto's coming back.
I didn't know until Yamato taught me.
There's also water on Mars, which is very odd. I everything I've learned.
Although for that time they did think that. That's 70s. They did think that for a while.
Oh well, in that case, I forgive them, guys. If you want to enjoy even more of the AAA podcast, you can get our exclusive RSS feed from our website. And people say, "Oh, I wanted to get the exclusive content. I wanted to listen to the hentai so bad. I love my hentai. I wanted to listen. I wanted my hobby addicts. I wanted to hear about how Mandi just entreats you with numerous game recommendations every week. But alas, I don't want to listen to the episodes through your website." And I say unto thee, you no longer have to do this. For now, if you join on our website, support the podcast, you will get a member RSS link that will allow you to listen to all of our exclusive content through pretty much any mobile app that you use currently that plays at podcasts, including Pocket Casts, Podcast Addicts, the Apple Podcast app, which is probably like 60% of you, CastBox, Overcast FM, Downcast, etc., and you'll get all of that. It's super easy to set up. It takes like 5 minutes. So if you sign up, you'll be helping us out. Merry Christmas, and we will give you an even easier way to enjoy all of our extra content. So make our Christmas wishes come true. Just like Mandy's about to make your dreams come true with some Mandy's Manga Minute. Are you ready?
I am.
And now, let's take a minute for the Manga Minute with Mandi.
This is Mandy's Manga Minute, where I take a minute to tell you about a manga and help you find something new to read. And this one is called Ping Pong Dash, and it is sponsored by Book Walker. Haruko Tendo is the strongest Yankee, striking fear into all of Ibaraki Prefecture. He meets the beauty Sawa, and then discovers ping pong. Ping Pong Dash is a shonen sports comedy series written and illustrated by Shingo Honda. It is a finished series with 15 volumes total, and all of them are available digitally in English. There are no printed versions of these. And the story starts with Haruko, a delinquent Yankee gang leader, getting into a fight with some local kids. And when ping pong prodigy Sawa walks up and sees that there is a beaten up kid there, her first assumption is that Haruko is the one that beat him up, and so she kicks him straight in the balls. But instead of this angering Haruko, instead sparks a love in his heart, and he is determined to get Sawa to notice him, so he joins the ping pong club. He soon realizes that it's not as easy as it looks, and he can't just win with brute strength. So he has to learn the finesse of the sport that the sport demands, while constantly getting into gang fights. And the first volume had a lot of comedic moments in it, specifically around Haruko. He's both a violent thug, and a love-struck teen, and shifting between those can be very abrupt at times. The art during the ping pong scene is very kinetic. And overall, I like the character designs. There's a lot of detail placed in his pompadour, which I think is hilarious.
This is by far one of the most glorious pompadours in all of.
Yeah.
Listen, you didn't have me.
Highly detailed.
You didn't have me, but now you have me. Pompadour, I'm in.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm in.
Yeah, I think the first volume has some potential for interesting or very intense ping pong matches and very funny delinquent action. But yeah, as I was saying, this was sponsored by Bookwalker. So you can go over there to global.bookwalker.jp, put in the promo code AAPOD, and you can get up to 600 yen off your first purchase. It is coin-based, so it is based in Japan, so it's around yen. So yeah, do that. You can get this. You can use it on anything in the store. So go find some books. And it is helping out this podcast, specifically the Manga Minute. So we would appreciate it.
All right. Well, now that I've had my oh, that is a fantastic pompadour. I just saw it. Wow.
It is, yeah.
Wow. See, this is what I wanted for Kazuo back in the day. He could have done this, but no. There's no such thing. Boy, I have to watch this now. That's fantastic. Almost as good as Sweet JP from Redline, but not quite because that
different.
Listen, that is an intergalactic race winning pompadour. So I'm just gonna say it's kind of tough to beat that. All right, next up.
In the game of waifus, you either win or you are late to anime school. Cake will be thrown. Ice cold tea will be served. Who will be top in the class and who will be flunked in Mason's Waifu Wars?
How's it going, everyone? And chat, Twitch chat. I know you're popping off.
Oh, we lost him.
Oh, bye, Mason.
This has been happening
he's
to
back.
him a lot.
Man, wow, that was wild. And we're back. Okay, so wild. Anyway, so we're back. For the Waifu Wars this week, we've been doing a ranking of the best of series throughout the stuff. We did Monogatari last week. What did we do the first week? We did the girls from How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift, but this time, we have a special treat. We are ranking the best character from each part of JoJo for you guys right now. So I think we're gonna have some interesting takes. So we went part by part, the best character in each. And chat, I want to hear what you think for each. So first up, we have part 1. Who is the best boy? Mitsugi, who do you have?
Well, actually, I didn't come up with any of these myself. This was all girlfriend input because I haven't watched most of JoJo, but she said Danny because he's the hottest dog.
I get the meme. I get the joke. I understand the fire. It burns within you. Man, best of part 1. Who do you got?
Oh, best of part 1. I put down Zappelli because he has a fantastic hat game until Speedwagon stole it.
See, that's
until then, fancy hat.
Because I picked Speedwagon because his hat game is on point. I wonder where that came from. But listen, Speedwagon, he has no powers. He's not blessed with the ripple. He doesn't have the stand. But he's like single-handedly bailed the JoJo family out for generations, and he's a good boy.
True.
And he's so good. He's so good. Originally, I was going to go with the original Joseph's father, because
he is a dapper man.
He is indeed a proper boy, but I got to go with Speedwagon.
I almost went with Jack the Ripper, so.
Fair enough. Part two. I think we had the same opinion on this one, Mandy. We both put Lisa. Why is she so good?
She's great.
Why is she the best husbando?
Dude, she is husbando. She is the best waifu. She kicks ass. She whooped his ass with a scarf.
Yeah.
She came up, and was it Cars who's like, pick your weapon? She's like, I've got my weapon, my scarf.
Fashion, baby. He has his weapon, his butt cheeks. Oh, they're fantastic.
It's true. I mean,
I think a Star Blazer would make a great fashion-based weapon. Who did you have for part 2?
First, I want to know how Mandi feels about the Pillar Man's buttocks compared to Hisoka's buttocks.
Well, we get to see Hisoka's a lot more often than the Pillar Man's.
Do you, though?
Oh, full-on ass, yeah.
But don't the Pillar Men walk around in full-on, thong Speedos the entire time?
True, Cars does have a nice ass, but Hisoka is very curvy. Look, I was trying so hard to go a whole episode without talking about Hisoka's ass, and you ruined me.
That's the AAA like bingo card. One of the squares on the Mandi board is Hisoka's ass, and you can check that one off this time.
Okay, well, the lady friend said Caesar because he can smash. Apparently, these are all death related because he gets smashed with a rock.
Yeah.
I almost put down Caesar too, just because he's so damn fancy looking.
That's true. Part three. I went with DRB on this one. I really don't like any of the characters from part 3, like of the main like crew. So I went with Daniel, the older brother. He's the gambling boy. Ooh, he like the original father of the Joestar line. He's so dapper. He's so polite. He's so restrained. He's so cool. Oh my goodness, I love him. And he fights with chocolate, so that's something. How about you, Mitz? Who would you have for part 3?
I think Dio was selected because something about him shoving a finger in his head.
Yep, he does do that.
So yeah, so that was to my recollection.
I think there's a bit of a S&M fetish going on over there with these picks.
I mean, I'm just taking orders, so that's
very
how
fitting.
it is. Yeah, I mean, Dio is pretty great anyway, so.
That's very true. Mandi, who's the best of part 3 in your mind?
Oh, I said Avdol because he's like the intelligent, very mature character. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. There aren't a lot of characters in part 3 I liked.
Very true. Very true. But after part 3, we have part 4. So who is your pick for that?
Yes, obvious.
Obvious.
I mean, I don't even have to say it. My number one husbando, Rohan, my mangaka,
People
love
love
of my
him.
life.
Oh, he's so good.
It's funny where you see him when he first shows up. He's like this kind of weirdo who licks a spider. And then his progression towards his OVAs, he just progressively gets hotter. Araki was like, you know what? Let's make him hot. I love it.
Why do people love Rohan so much? Like, what is it exactly that's the draw? I really don't know. I mean,
The draw.
I watched.
He's a nerd otaku like us.
Did I just make a joke?
He's got abs.
Did I make a joke without knowing
because
it?
he's a mangaka.
Oh my god. What have I done?
And also, he turns people into books and writes in them.
Yeah, I only got like 12 episodes into part 4, so that was like my drop off point, and for no particular reason from JoJo. So I imagine I'll have to pick it up at some point.
He's very passionate about his manga creating.
That's very good. Passion is nice.
I went with Tonio, obviously. That man can just cook me delicious meals on the reg, and it will be so
and then your eyeballs will melt out of your skull.
Ooh, but I'll feel so good afterwards. It's worth the trade-off.
Well, after all your skin falls off and your eyeballs melt out of your
It will just
skull.
give me an excuse to scream out, I'm going to fix that spaghetti every day. And I really think that's all I need in my life to be happy.
Mm.
Part 5, the most recent and latest part of the anime.
Mm-hmm.
I went with my boy Nero, Risotto Nero. He's the super edgy guy who's got Metallica. He fights with his blood. He is me in the JoJo universe. He's the most similar to me, and I love him so much. Everyone says, you got to get Bruno. He's the guy you bring home to mom. But Nero, he's a friend with benefits, as my fellow Joe Bro in the office said. So he's my boy. He's my best.
Go ahead, Mandy. Say it just how you wrote it.
I can't say it just like I wrote it.
I think you can.
Listeners, brace yourself. Can I get a 4 in the chat for all the heirs that just died? God, this is so good. I love him. He's a good.
I put down Mista because he's so funny too, especially when tiny spoilers, especially when he and Trish exchange places. It's so funny. And apparently he smells really bad, according to Trish. But I do like Mista a lot. But I also put down that Diavolo is hot. Oh, if I could get Diavolo with Bucciarati's mind, perfect. That is my husband.
Yeah, Diavolo, he's a little bit of a wild card. I couldn't live.
Yeah, you don't want actual Diavolo. But Bucciarati's mind in there. There you go.
There you go. How about you, Mitz?
Apparently it's a Bakio because he makes my chest hurt.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
You get the reference. I get the reference. I'm just going to blaze through these last two really quick. Part 6, I got to go with my boy Weather Report. Similar to part 1, his hat game is spectacular. It's the most coziest, winteriest thing ever, and it's beautiful, and he's gorgeous. Part 7, got to give it up to Hot Pants. You'll see if you read the manga.
What is...
But Hot Pants is so good.
I can see the names aren't going to improve.
Oh my goodness! I can't say spoilers, but Hot Pants easily. If you know, you know. In part 7, you know.
Will I get to that person in our first 4 volumes?
The problem with part 7 is you meet everyone during the race, but you don't know when they're gonna get their time to shine. So
I saw Dinosaur Dio, so I'm already excited.
You're getting there. You're getting there, my friend. You'll know Hot Pants when you see.
You can't miss them. They're probably like neon orange or something. So
yeah,
it's bright pink. It's bright pink.
All right, guys.
But yeah, so those are some of the best choice characters of JoJo, and I think next week we'll be doing the best waifus of 2019. So if you have any of your own input, I want to hear it and see if it makes the list or not.
Oh wow! Well, next week is going to be the last one of the year, so. Yep.
Very topical.
And the episode will come out on the 1st of 2020. So that's pretty nice. All right, guys. It's the only time we're ever going to be able to do this topic, I'm guessing. Unless we do this. Unless we'll see you again on episode 1000. So, best anime of the decade. So, I just want to throw this out here before we start that these are, for me at least, these are my favorites amongst ones I actually watched. I mean, if you go through the list of shows from the last decade, there's like, it's like 3,200 anime or something ridiculous. So, I mean, clearly, I probably watched a very small subset of that. I mean, I would guess probably 10% of them. So, this is a subset of, although I think we try to watch the better shows for the podcast. So, hoping we have some of the best picks here, but of course, there may be shows that get overlooked just because I didn't watch them. So, Mason, this is kind of your show, I think.
Okay, yeah, we can definitely start. So I put out a poll. We got a whole lot of responses. I want to thank everyone who filled them out. There was a ton of comments saying this was like the hardest quiz they ever had to take.
Yeah, it was hard.
Oh, wow.
But that's what makes it so fun and rewarding. So we kind of split it up into 3 parts. So the first part was just the best show from every year. So, if you had 5 of your favorite shows were all in 2010, tough luck. You have to choose the best one. And we did it based on kind of, if it started in 2009 and ended in 2010, it was eligible. And then otherwise, we counted the year that a show fell into as when it started. So if it like bled from 2011 to 2012, we counted it as a 2011 show.
Correct.
So tons of responses.
Thank God.
I figured we'll go through. Do we want to go through our responses first or the poll results?
Well, in giving respect to the listeners, why don't we let them pick?
Okay, so we'll go through them first, and we'll talk about that and what we thought.
We can make a fun game out of this. Why don't we award 1 point to each of us when we pick the same show as the number 1 pick from the audience? How does that sound?
Gotcha.
And we'll give an update after every 3 years. I like it.
Sounds good.
I like it.
So
I'm gonna lose.
So the first year is 2010. The listeners across the board, we had 19 different shows get a vote. So that's kind of the first marker of like how diverse a year was. So 19 shows got a vote for best of the year. The third place, or the show with the third amount of votes, the third most amount of votes, with 15.8% was Angel Beats.
Oh,
which I was not a big fan of. The second most show
popular though.
Yes, very, very popular. Was at 14%. Well, not 14%. I messed up the numbers. Never mind. Was Tatami Galaxy. Oh my goodness, people, I love it. And the number 1 show of 2010, according to listeners, was what we're actually going to review for Anime Club, Durarara.
Wow. Okay. That.
They love themselves a man that can throw a vending machine.
Yeah,
They're not wrong.
they like the strong men, real
And
strong
that
boys.
OP, man. Whew, I love that OP.
OP is good. I did not like Durarara as much as Baccano.
Oh, I did. I used to be obsessed with Durarara a lot.
Did you watch all the following seasons?
Yeah, I have them all
Okay.
on Blu-ray.
I
I have all the
believe it.
books.
Yikes. Well, I guess I'll go first.
Go for it.
Obviously, my favorite show of 2010 is a show I can't shut up about. It's Tatami Galaxy. It came out the year I went to college. It's about college. It is my favorite show in the world, in the history of ever. So obviously,
Wow.
it's my 2010 pick.
Okay.
Same Tatami Galaxy.
Oh, bless.
Said. It was a really good show, and I feel like I need to watch it again because there are a lot of things that I forgot. But it's a great show, especially if you're in college, and it's like that trying to figure out what you want to do with your life, and it's a very surreal experience. And yeah, it's really good.
I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. I'm 34, so.
Me too.
You should probably watch
Same.
Tatami Galaxy. You might.
I mean, if you're questioning what to do with your life, you usually end up in podcasting, am I right?
That's right. For now, I'm just trying to climb all the 14ers in Colorado. That the banner behind me that I put up that I'm pointing my thumb at has a image of every 14er peak in the Colorado, and I'm stamping every one when I finish it. So we got 51 to go. Yeah. My number one show of 2010, a show that we haven't mentioned yet, Rainbow. So.
Ooh.
A very grim, sort of dark show about a bunch of guys in prison who sort of form a brotherhood, I would say. And it was just a show that came out of nowhere for me. And when I watched it, I was like, wow, this is really a lot of very powerful emotional moments, but a very dark, violent, gritty show that I think probably has a cult following at this point. But yeah, so no one predicted the top choice.
That's correct.
So, all right, everyone loses that round.
But we both got the number 2, so it counts for something. Anyway,
yeah, I've been meaning to try Rainbow. I can't find it anywhere.
Is that a Madhouse show?
I don't know.
You know if they did that? I remember it looked way
familiar.
better than I thought. Anyway, yes, Rainbow is good. I actually watched it when we went to Japan. That was my tablet watching show when we were on the Shinkansen.
I can't find it anywhere, but I would love to watch it.
All right, how about
Marching Alarm?
Yeah.
2011. There were only 13 shows that got a vote from the listeners, so much more refined pool to select from. The third most rated show was Hunter x Hunter, obviously the 2011 remake version.
Really?
Yep. Number
That's
2
interesting.
was Madoka Magica, which, as we mentioned earlier, is getting the side story sequel thing. And number 1, with almost a third of the votes, was Steins Gate.
Wow.
Classic, which I
Yeesh.
coincidentally put as my show of the year. And this is one I kind of flopped back and forth on, but I ended up going with Steins Gate. And yeah, I really liked it, obviously.
Wow. Okay.
Mandy, obviously I think we know what you were going to pick.
I mean, obviously, the best is Hunter x Hunter. It's changed my life.
Oh, no.
It has. It's ruined me. That's all I think about.
Kimi wa mezamete yuku.
You can try.
Hajimari wa itsudem. Yeah, I also picked Hunter x Hunter. Just by sheer entertainment value, there's just nothing came close in that year.
And man, that friendship between Gon and Killua is what I love so much. Just the progression of their friendship from the very beginning to where it ends up at the end is so touching. God,
They're such
I love them
cuties.
so much. They are.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mason's ahead now with 1 point. So congratulations.
1 point. Heck yes. So 2012, we move on. There were 18 shows selected by the viewers. The third most rated show was Fate Zero Season 2. No strong feelings on it either way.
Season 2,
perfectly
okay.
fine. Yeah. Number 2 is actually a tie at 13.6% between JoJo Part 1 and Sword Art Online.
Interesting.
And the number 1 show, according to the listeners from 2012, was Psycho-Pass.
Wow, really?
I would think Psycho-Pass is
I mean,
the best of the shows that were kind of being thrown around. And obviously a ton of shows that got 3 or 4 votes from a bunch of different people. I mean, you had Hyouka, you had Kids on the Slope, you had Love Chunibyo, you had Maji, you had Shinsuke Yori, you had Space Brothers. Like, all those shows like did pretty well in the viewer ratings, but they weren't enough to crack the top 3.
Yeah.
I mean, Psychopaths is fine. I'm just surprised that it beat out like Fate Zero. I thought that would be,
Oh, Psychopaths popped off, man. Everyone loved that series.
I guess
It
so.
also helped that it was it's not a sequel, so it's easier. A lot of people who liked Fate could continue liking it, same way you get sequels on Mal, they get higher scores, but it's harder to get into that at that point. So I went with Space Brothers for 2012. I thought the show was just delightful from beginning to end, and it's 99 episodes of being a space boy, and that's all I want to do in my life. So I loved it.
haven't seen Space Brothers. It's on my list.
Oh my
though.
God!
Sorry. It's on my list though.
My God.
Yes, judge me, Joseph. But mine is very it's very subjective. Mine is Natsume Yujincho season 4 because this is my favorite season of all of Natsume, especially the ending. The ending was so rewarding after you followed Natsume up to that point. And man, it was so emotional for me, and I loved it so much.
Season 4 is definitely the breakout year for Natsume.
I think was Chihaya Furu also this season? No, Chihaya was 2011. I'm sorry.
Yes, that was a little bit back.
Yeah.
So Chihaya Furu obviously got votes in all the years it was in, but not enough to place, unfortunately. Mitz, what did you have for your best of 2012?
For me, I had Space Brothers as well. Although I did change this one like 4 times. I initially had Fate Zero, and then I just kept changing it, but I eventually settled on Space Brothers, which makes me think that 2012 is probably a really strong year. So, yeah.
Let me scroll down. Let me look really quick at the breakdown. 2012 was an all right year according to the viewers, but we will get to that.
Okay, we'll get to it.
that.
All right.
2013, only 14 shows were selected across the board, and this was the first of the. There was a clear favorite on the list. So, the third most voted for show was Monogatari. I believe this was second season. Let me check my thing. Yeah, so this was the second series. Number 2 was Kill la Kill with a respectable couple of votes. But with over half of the votes, by far, 2013 belonged to Attack on Titan.
Not that shocking.
Wasn't even close. Every other show in this poll were sitting at like 5 votes, and Attack on Titan was well into the 30s. So it was overwhelming for this year. So I did not think Attack on Titan was worthy. I put it with the Eccentric Family. I was so charmed by that show. Within the first minute of that show, I'm like, yep, I love it. I love it. I love it. And I continue to love it all the way through this season and season 2. So
yeah, I mean, I like Attack on Titan, don't get me wrong. I agree that mine was also Eccentric Family because that series was so charming. Man, the family was so both warm and tragic. It was
wholesome.
Great. Yeah, so wholesome. It's great seeing them just stay together through so much, and God, I loved it. And of course, Tanuki. They're just adorable.
What are the odds that Mandi and I both choose the same show written by the same author as Tommy Galaxy? Like the same source material. The guy's good. I love it.
We chose the same show quite a few times.
We did, but it's just funny that this is the same guy who did Tatami, Eccentric Family, Night is Short, and Penguin Highway. I love all his stuff. So, Mitz, what did you choose for 2013?
I picked Attack on Titan for the impact on anime itself. So clearly, I don't think I never thought Attack on Titan season 1 was like the best thing ever, but I think that it had the largest impact on anime in general, probably for that year. So that's why I put that. Oh, and I claim a point, by the way, tying Mason for 1 point.
That's true. That's true.
That's right. Now what? Mandi, you got to catch up.
I mean, I didn't create this game. Clearly, you cheated.
Hey, now.
System.
All right.
You're an all-star.
That's right.
Moving on to 2014, which I think is one of my favorite years of anime ever. And evidence for the fact that 21 shows were voted on by listeners as the best of the year. So there was quite a lot of variety. This was the second most amount of shows voted for out of any year. So good options to choose from. The viewers in third place, it was a tie between No Game No Life and Parasite. Both pretty solid shows. Number 2, at 11.5%, was Ping Pong, the animation, another US joint. And number 1, also a year that kind of had a clear winner, was Your Lie in April.
Yeah. Yep, Your Lie in April.
You had all those good shows to choose, and you chose Your Lie in April. I'm disappointed in you, chat. You were the chosen ones. No, it's fine. It's fine. I obviously am sticking to my guns. Got to go with Ping Pong for my number 1 of 2014. I waffled between this, Shirobako. There were just so many good shows, but I had to go with Ping Pong. I just have so many good memories. It's so rewatchable. The soundtrack's amazing. The animation is god tier. Please at me. That's my choice.
Chat thinks Pupa. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
we'll get to
obviously.
Pupa. We'll get to Pupa.
Yeah,
was
we'll
on
get
my
there.
list.
My favorite was Pupa.
I gotta find that drop of the little girl eating her brother. I can probably find that again and recreate that. Yeah. Oni-chan.
Maybe I should just keep it as Pupa just because it'd be funny. No, mine was Mushishi season 2. It's my favorite season of Mushishi, and one of the few that I've given a 10 to. I love that series so much, and a lot of the stories that were in the second season were so far superior than the first season. There are a lot in here that were very emotional, very creative. From the guy with the rainbows and the one with the headless cherry blossom tree woman. And man, the story about the lightning boy hit me hard. It was really good.
So consistent. And Mitz?
I did have Your Lie in April, but I was thinking, I was like, would the Mitsugi of today pick Your Lie? Would he feel the same way about Your Lie in April? Because
if you're cheating.
That was 5 years ago, and I thought to myself, the Mitsugi of today, aside from a couple moments of the show, namely the end, which was really good, I would have probably been bored watching Your Lie in April today. And so I said, what anime of 2014 would today's Mitsugi enjoy the most? And it's Rachel Bahamut. So, yeah, because it's just a lot of fun right off the bat, and it moves quick, and it's got fun action in it. It's got dragons, it's got angel girls, it's got demon girls, it has demon cat girls, it has thieves, it has knights, it has necromancers. It's got everything, and it's a lot of fun. So Rage of
to give you
Bahamut.
an idea of how strong 2014 was, Rage of Bahamut did have some fan votes. I mean, Haikyuu didn't even make the top 3.
Yeah.
Rakamon,
Wow.
Noragami didn't even make the top 3. Space Dandy, Shirobako was all on there. Like, these are solid shows that I recommend.
Yeah, this is a really hard one for me because I was like, obviously Mushishi was like one that I gave a 10 to. So it's like, I have to pick this one. But there are a lot on there. I'm like, man, I like this series a lot, though.
I tried
like
to...
Noragami.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I just went to my list and I was trying to be objective. I was looking at the numbers, and whatever had the highest number, I was like, I got to trust how I felt at the time. So, because I also gave, it's so good. But Ping Pong obviously wins for me. 2015, marching on, another strong season with 21 different shows voted for. Unfortunately, this one had a clear favorite. The third place show was Sound Euphonium. Second place show was Death Parade, which was a blast. Oh my goodness, that opening.
Yeah.
But number 1, I think we all saw it coming with almost 37% of the votes.
Damn.
One Punch Man. Season one only.
Yeah. Yeah. Season 2.
It was super good. I love the first season of One Punch Man a lot.
Wait. What is there a season 2 of One Punch Man?
No. I heard they were making
yet.
it, but then I think something fell through. It never happened.
I mean, they ran out of computer pixels. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
They ran out of paint for the cell shading, so they just stopped it after.
The cell shading.
Yeah, the cell shading they used in One Punch Man.
Yeah.
They went to the store to buy some crayons, and they ran out, so they were just like, let's wrap this up, boys. And it never got released.
They ran
Still
out
waiting.
of paper because they're like, man, we can only make 5 pictures. I just keep reusing them.
The Mandy and Mason are in lockstep.
Always, as I smash my microphone and make a bunch of extra noise. Anyway, 2015, I had to go with Owari Monogatari. It's kind of nearing the end of this epic series, which I had always kind of liked, but something about it I could never love. Like, I was always just kind of on the fringe of like, this is good, but I don't know. I haven't been fully engrossed by it. And something about that season, whether it be the introduction of Ugi, the different arcs, just each character kind of finding their place to me, that really just was like, I've got it now. This is a Monogatari I've been waiting for this whole time, and I was so ecstatic to just witness it every week. It was so much fun.
Same. I also chose Wari Monogatari because it was Wari Monogatari is my favorite out of the entire Monogatari series. Specifically, this one was very mystery heavy, which definitely piques my interest. I love mystery stories, and from the very beginning of it, I loved it so much. And but yeah, I did enjoy One Punch Man quite a bit.
Is that the one that has the banging hot cat girl in it?
Let's just say yes. Let's just say yes.
Just say yes. Just say yes.
Trick him to watching.
Was Black
No, not really.
Hanakawa? I didn't
Black
think so.
Hanakawa wasn't in this, but Hanakawa was there, and that's close enough.
Yes.
I don't even remember what I picked. Yes. It was Noragami Arigoto.
Good.
Yeah,
Good
it was really
opening.
good. Yeah. And
Man, my trash husbando, literally.
yeah,
Yato.
I mean, God, the backstory for what was the
Yato?
Bishamon?
Oh yeah, that too.
It was so good. Holy shit. So yeah,
Manga
Noragami.
series is still going, and it went to some pretty crazy places. I'm still keeping up with it.
I remember Noragami season 2 going into it like, I wonder how much they're really gonna keep going from the first season. I was kind of skeptical on if they would able to keep the train rolling, and I thought it succeeded. I don't remember if I thought it was better or as good as the first, but it was definitely worth it to continue the whole series. I really enjoyed it, so that's a good pick.
Okay.
I approve.
We're working our way through here.
2016,
Oh,
18 shows.
it's a good year.
It was a great year. Number 3, actually the third best show by the viewers, was Rakugo Shinju.
Wow.
Season 1, which is stunning because that show was spectacular. But, I guess I understand it. And there was a ton of votes across the spectrum. This was a very close grouping at the top. Just like one vote higher was March Comes In Like a Lion, season 1.
Does it make you feel happy?
It really does. It warms my soul.
I thought it would.
And then a couple votes higher than that, also deserving, with like 20% of the vote. So it was a very tight field, was Mob Psycho, season 1. So a bunch of season 1s of all phenomenal shows. And as the person who picked Mob Psycho 100, Mandi, why was it number 1?
Oh man, Mob Psycho is great. From the action to great good boy, it's just I love that series so much. I love the characters in Mob Psycho 100 so much. Yeah, Mob is such a good boy, and Reagan, even though he's a shithead, he's occasionally he's good too. I love him.
They're two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Mandy,
you can't have one without the other.
Mandy's on the board. She scored a point.
She did. I was close. I was very close to picking Mob Psycho season 1.
Good job, Mandy.
And
you know what? You know what? Fuck it. There we go. All right.
Man, that sounded like a sympathy cheer. Why didn't we get any? Oh, anyway.
We're gonna need sympathy by the end of this game. So I picked. Oh, did you already go, Mason?
No, I hadn't yet. I was gonna
Go
let
ahead.
Mandy take her victory lap.
Oh,
So I almost picked Mob Psycho, but I couldn't pull it away from season 2, which I was not a big fan of. So I was thinking of Owari Monogatari, and as Mandy said, it's just a great mystery series written by Nisio Isin. And I was like, you know what? I like Mysteries by Nisio Isin. I'm going to pick Kubikiri Cycle because no one's seen that, and I want to promote it more. So Kubikiri Cycle is like a 7-episode, like longer episode thing, but I'm still counting it. It's still good. I loved it so much. It's got a great ending, and then the ending that is an ending to the ending that's like, you thought you knew the ending? You didn't. You lied. You're dumb. This is why you're dumb. And ooh, it just made me so happy. And it was a ton of fun. Now you can go, Mitz. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, sure. I picked the Akugo Shinju for this one. The show's just too good.
Yeah.
It's too cerebral. There's too many just breathtaking moments. And was kind of surprised not to see it higher, since I'm pretty sure that won our anime Oscar that year. So
I think it was 2 that won. I could be wrong.
So
yeah.
Maybe it was. I don't know. But yeah, that was a great show. So
quality, all quality picks. Chat, you did good. Podcasters, you did good. Oh, I love 2016 went very well.
So happy we have Mason's approval.
I approve everyone's decisions here, except for. Ooh, let me look. Let me see what the worst shows of 2016 that people voted for. No, even all those were pretty good. Even Tanaka-kun was on here. Yuri on Ice.
Yeah.
ReZero. Konosuba. JoJo Part 4. Erased. Sun Euphonium 2. Like, those are all solid picks, guys. You did good. Anyway, moving on. Marching on. Ever. 2017.
Yeah.
The sequel to a lot of these shows comes up. There were 22 shows that people voted for. This is the most amount of shows in any year. So this was a lot of different options. Third place was a tie, 3-way tie between March Comes In Like a Lion Season 2, Hoseki no Kuni, Land of the Lustrous, and Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. So all those shows were smack dab at number 3. Number 2 was Rakugo Shinju Season 2, and number 1 was Made in Abyss with a quarter of the votes at 25%.
Yeah, it's not all that shocking.
No. Those, once again, all good picks, all wildly different, but very good stuff. I kind of didn't vote for Rakugo Shinju in 2016 because I was like, honestly, at the end of the day, I liked Season 2 so much more. Like, everything, Season 1 was almost perfect, and there was a couple things wrong with it, and all those problems were addressed in Season 2. And it actually, like, retroactively fixed problems. Like, there were plot points that were kind of iffy in Season 1, and because of Season 2, you're like, oh, that's why they were kind of iffy. And it was just a revelation. But all that said, there was only one 10 out of 10 show for me that year, and that was March Comes In Like a Lion in Season 2. It was...
Oh, it's your baby.
Oh, it was so good. It just makes me so happy every time. And as much as I appreciate the extra artistry of Rakugo, March Comes In Like a Lion was something special. So that's my vote.
Yeah, mine was Rakugo Shinju Season 2. This was really hard for me. The 2017-16 were very hard for me because there were a lot of series in here that I was like, I love this series so much. I did Season 2 instead of Season 1 for the exact same reasons Mason said. Season 1 was good, and then Season 2 just blew it out of the water, and I was like, this is like a work of art. So I loved Season 2 so much, and that's why I chose it on 17 instead of 16, but it was really hard because... Man, I love March, too. March Comes In Like a Lion is a really great show, and I had debate between that and Mob Psycho, and I ended up picking Mob Psycho. But, yeah, Rakugo Shinju is so good. I love the series so much.
When I was picking this year, I was, like, looking through... First, I went to, like, Wikipedia, and I'm looking at all the shows that came out in 2017. And I was like, this is too hard. And eventually, I went and I kind of corroborated my picks with our review document, which has... I mean, to be honest, if we're not covering it for the podcast, I probably didn't watch it. So, and it's been like that for a while. So I was just looking at 2017. I was like, there's just like, I recognize there are some shows here from 2017 that are good shows, but I just didn't watch them. Right? I just missed them somehow. And so like, this was a year where I was like, there was like almost nothing I really cared about. And so I ended up picking, even though I realized that this is like falls well short of shows from other years, I ended up picking Inuyashiki, because like I don't know, I just I missed out on a lot of the shows this year for somehow that were the good ones. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
You're not alone, Mitz.
I got nothing else to say.
Some viewers pick that as well.
I mean, I mean,
not alone.
yeah. I mean, if I stuck that against the top show from like 2016 or 2018, it would be like it wouldn't even be close. But like somehow I just didn't. I missed out on like most of these. So I'm not gonna pick a show I didn't watch.
Well, speaking of years that weren't even close, in 2018, there was a clear favorite in the fan community.
Yeah, a bunch of people.
19 shows.
Yeah, lost their minds this year.
That's very true.
Yeah, because the best show is not even in the top 3. So.
Ooh.
Just gonna say that, just throw that out there.
I have not
just
seen
place
your
it.
pick yet.
I'm just gonna delicately place that comment here on the table, and then I'm gonna sit back and be like, just go.
Chat saying 2018 was a hard year to pick. You are very.
I mean, you're
right.
not wrong. That is a good pick, though. But anyways.
So 2018, the third place show was a tie between Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai and Run with the Wind. Second place show at 16.7%, a place further than the universe. And number one with 33.3, exactly 1/3 of the vote, was Violet Evergarden.
Interesting. Well, you're wrong.
Well, Mitz, pray tell, lead the way. What
I
was
mean,
the best show of 2018?
Seemingly as if
And
it
why
didn't.
was it Keijo?
because
I don't
because asses and
Yes,
because asses are
Keijo.
great. Because nicely developed buttocks is a nice thing. No, so as if it didn't even exist based on the top 3, or actually really the top 4. Somehow we forgot entirely that Devilman Crybaby even existed. As it won.
Devilman Crybaby got votes.
As it won, I think the Crunchyroll Awards that year, and I think it was at least the top 2 for our anime Oscars. And but I don't know, people just forgot it existed.
Did it win? I thought this was My Hero Academia year. That one, like My Hero swept the floor.
This is the year
Or
where
am I wrong?
This is the year where I think My Hero won everything, and then Devilman Crybaby won like the best of the
okay.
year. I'll double check that, but Crunchyroll Awards.
I could be wrong. I could be thinking of a different year. I can't remember.
Well, I'm gonna.
I know one year, Yuri on Ice won everything. Another year, My Hero Academia won
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Devilman Crybaby, it was a Netflix show, and I don't know. It was just like the animation was amazing. The story was impactful. It was unique, very memorable. It was just great. Everything about it was awesome. So,
As
yeah.
a Yuasa fanboy, though, I was just somewhat let down by it, and that's why I couldn't.
It was the boobs.
It was perhaps. It was the running technique that just hurt my spine to look at.
That running technique is great.
I love all the
How
music
else are you
on it.
gonna get to places? You get places faster when you use all 4 limbs.
I do want to say though, I do want to make a point about Keijo. Like
Oh no.
anime, like part of what makes anime such a spectacular medium is that it is unbounded by like certain conventions, and it has the freedom and conviction to make something as unique and unheralded as Keijo. The thing is, it's shows like Keijo that is what makes anime like so terrible. It's like, it's oh my goodness. Oh, it's not saying Keijo was all that bad, but it was a mistake, and it's not good.
I actually did think Keijo was pretty funny.
Keijo was
but
a ton of
it's
fun, but
not a sport. I'm just kidding.
So Mandy and I, we were in agreement once again for 2018. We both picked A Place Further Than the Universe. Mandy, why did we do
Further.
such a thing?
Yeah, Place Further Than the Universe hit me really hard. Man, I can't remember how many times I cried during the series. And it was just so inspirational to see these young women who were like, or young girls who were like, I just need to get out and explore the world. And their journey from basically nothing all the way to getting to Antarctica was so inspirational. It's just, it was a beautiful show. I love this series so much. And penguins.
I was about to say, you could have just said penguins, and that's why I rated it up there. But I guess it was pretty touching, and it had a good running sequence, and it was just so nice.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a hard season though, because I also loved Violet Evergarden. I loved Devilman Crybaby a lot. It was hard, but that one stood out above the rest for me. I think I also gave that one a 10. Place for it in the universe.
I think I gave Place 9 out of 10. It was really up there. But moving on.
So just so you guys know, Devilman Crybaby did win Anime of the Year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Like
and director. But
my
it's
boy,
fine. It's
my
all
boy,
fine.
he's so good. He's so
It's
good.
all good. It's all
Yeah,
good.
Devilman had votes. Darkwing and the Franks had votes. Asobi Asobase.
Oh, that's good.
Hinamatsuri, SSS Gridman, Slime, Zombieland Saga. Oh, there was just so much good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, I want to make a comment here. This was a nightmare to compile these percentages because our viewers are so good at finding different ways to spell the same show different ways. There was at least 8 different spellings of Steins Gate. For example, you had Steins space gate, you had Steins space lowercase g gate, you had Steins comma gate, Steins apostrophe gate, Steins a semicolon gate. Oh my goodness, it was driving me nuts. So might have to workshop how the polls work, but I did it for you guys because I care.
Can you do? Oh no, never mind. I guess you can. I almost made the dumb question like, why don't you do multiple choice?
I wasn't gonna fit 3,000 things. Because I have thought about that.
That was a bad option. I'm so sorry.
I have thought about that for 2019. Like, I could do that for like that few shows, but I'm just making a request now. People, if you're like, hey, I want my voice heard, I want to be involved when they do the best of 2019 poll, I would really appreciate it if you just went to my anime list and just copied the way they spell it. Ooh, that would make me oh so happy, viewers. So I can survive without it, but I'll love you even more.
Can you just copy paste the data into Excel and use like the find function to like find all the event entries that have the word Stein in it?
Yeah, but you think they spell them all the right way? Not always, my friend.
Stein, Stine.
English.
How about gate?
Japanese
How about gate?
Names?
How about gate?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Okay.
No, I'm just giving a hard time.
No, it's fine. I once worked for a company where I was doing something similar. We're using like web traffic hits or whatever, and people, they were like 14 different ways to spell HP Inc. As in Hewlett Packard. I'm like, how can you fuck it up that bad? HP Inc. It's 5 letters. Anyway.
The chat is saying I should make multiple choice, but only the shows that I approve of, thus forcing them to pick the correct answers. Other people are saying if you didn't spell it Steins Gate with the semicolon, your vote shouldn't count. And
Damn.
They're also saying that they will
come on.
That's into consideration for episode 1,000 for next anime of the decade.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
Smart asses.
Finally,
all right.
2019, current show, current season, 19, and this was like the most even field we got. Almost everything was a couple votes away from one another, but in third place was a tie. Attack on Titan, Season 3, Part 2, and The Promised Neverland. Both pretty solid picks. Number 2, currently airing still, Vinland Saga.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1, with 15.5% of the vote, Demon Slayer. Thoughts,
Indeed.
Opinions?
Well,
Mandi seems to maybe have taken this victory race. So explain, why was Demon Slayer number 1?
Mandi,
I love Demon Slayer.
Like a thief in the night comes out of nowhere and steals the win.
This one was really hard for me though, but because I was also I like Promised Neverland, but I definitely like Demon Slayer a lot more than Promised Neverland. I have not seen Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2 yet, so I couldn't put that one down. I am really enjoying Vinland Saga, but I do think the manga is far superior. Like, there are definitely some things in there. Like, I love it, don't get me wrong. If you haven't read the manga, I could definitely see why that'd be up so high. But Demon Slayer, it was so entertaining from beginning to end for me. I love Tanjiro so much. I love my Beast Boy Inosuke so much. Best boar. I don't know. I enjoyed it thoroughly, but yeah, I don't know. It was hard for me though, because there are a few that haven't finished yet. Also, that I'm like, man, this could have been my top pick. Like Stars Align is so strong. I love it so much, but it's not done yet, so I couldn't pick it. So I don't know.
For me, it was Mob Psycho 102. That was pretty good.
That too. I love
Yeah,
that
that was really
one.
solid. Yeah, and that has some really just like surprisingly, it's just great action scenes at the end of the end, and Mob is so good. Just a good. He's just
Such a good boy.
He's a good boy. You just want to
There
pat
are a
him
few
on his
moments
head.
in that too where I almost cried.
And for my pick, I actually had to, fall in line with the what once was the popular vote of Attack on Titan, season 3, part 2. And it's funny because if you look at the fan voting, like all the way back in 2013, like Attack on Titan had over 15% of the votes. Like you could see, it was on top of the world. It was the biggest thing, literally, in the game, and it had all the love. And a couple years later, when season 2 came out, it got maybe one vote in our fan thing. Like it just, you could clearly see it dropped off the cliff. And I agree, the quality was awful. And for it to come back so strong and so impressive and just like redeem itself was just a very rewarding experience. And I loved it. And the soundtrack was god tier, and it was a good time. So that was my stuff. So that kind of does it for the best per year. Do we want to run through our top 10 overall? Do we have time? Do we want to do that?
Depends on what else you want to do.
Oh, well, he says,
bye,
fuck
Mason.
it, I'm out.
Bye. Oh, he's back. Okay, and he's back.
I want to disconnect from Discord. That's what I want to do.
He wants the heck out of here.
I want the heck out of here. It's up to you. I think we could go through these really quickly.
Okay, let me go last so I can figure it out.
Gotcha. Well, know what? We'll start before we go through. We'll go through some of the hidden gems worst.
Okay.
And like movies that we got from the audience. So there's a whole lot of hidden gems that people voted on. I'm going to attach a link to the results in our spreadsheet. There was almost like no, as expected, there was no like similar responses there because everyone was just claiming a bunch of shows. I think Flip Flappers was the only one that had more than a single response. So if you're looking for stuff to watch, I would go check that out. I said for my hidden gem was House of Five Leaves. That is a almost perfect show for me, and it has like it's like 60,000 people on Mal have like marked it all. So I think that's super artistic, super under talked about, underwritten about, and I love that show so much.
My hidden gem was Land of the Lustrous.
It's good. It's good.
But no, also City Thomas. City Thomas is so great, and hardly anyone talks about it.
I almost put that as mine too. I didn't love it as much as House of the Five Leaves, but I loved it way more than I thought I would going into it.
Yeah.
And it's got duck mode.
And Duck.
I'm pulling all these out of my ass now. I'm gonna say Gudazeni is my gem of the year. Is my gem.
There you go.
Yeah,
There
it's
you
your
go.
jam.
It just is. Like, I don't know. It just hit me in a way that no other anime, maybe no other anime has.
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
So time for the worst show of the
Oh
decade.
God.
And people just loved talking about these. There were whole
I
paragraphs written up that we're not going to get into. The going from the third worst to the most worst. I don't know if that counts as a win. Tokyo Ghoul Route A. That was widely considered real bad. Pupa was up there. Handshakers were up there. But by far, the one with the most amount of votes was King's Game. Everyone hated
Really?
King's Game.
Yeah.
That was bad,
that
but
anime
I've seen
sucked.
worse.
Listen, not all of these sinners have gone through as much turmoil
True.
as you. What was the worst in your mind, Mandy? What was the
Dynamic Chord is the worst thing I've ever seen. Dynamic Chord, or I almost also put down the Vampire Hole. Oof, this is some real bad stuff. I mean, Pupa's so bad, but at least it's kind of funny.
At least
Bad.
it's short.
Dynamic Chord, I have never seen, worst animation that I have ever seen. Like, they were like, hey, let's make an anime and not animate anything.
Wild.
That's
What
so
a
bad.
strategy.
It's so bad.
I only like picked a show that I completed because there's lots of bad shows that I'll just be like, no, and then stop watching. But the one that was the worst that I actually had to complete for podcast purposes was The Price of Smiles. That was
So sorry.
unbearable.
That was one of mine. So sorry.
That's a nightmare. But now that was my answer. Mitz, you have a worse, or should we keep on trucking along?
mean, I admit I didn't see this on the doc.
No,
so
I added very last minute.
I'm a little unprepared, but like I'm looking at my ones and a halves here, and there's some fucking bad shows here. There are shows here that just I thought were bad. Everybody else is like, pretty good, and then I'm like, I almost literally just offed myself watching this. And one of those, so they come in different categories of like unanimously bad, shows that were bad and were dropped, shows that were bad and were finished, and then there's the shows that just tormented Mitsugi and no one else. And in that category, of which I was tormented, but everybody else was like, pretty good. Blood Blockade Battlefront and Beyond, I was ready to literally just run into traffic. In fact, you know what? I would take all my clothes. I was running into traffic butt naked, and then they just find me. And then
you run into naked with your twin tails, your pink shirt.
Yeah, my twin tails,
flashing people.
Yeah, and back then I would have been in Florida, so I'd have like my, it would not be a frozen package, I would say.
I didn't realize I was muted.
And in my pocket of my naked body, it would be a piece of paper that just said Blood Blockade Battlefront on it, and then that would be it.
You thought that was worse than the Rifle Boys.
I didn't watch the Rifle Boys. I dropped that like hot lead.
But you still saw it though.
I one episode. Oh God. Okay, so here's some other bad shows. Just
out here making his own blockades.
Just so you guys can remember these. Just enjoy remembering that these exist. Love Tyrant. That was a good show. Cheer Boys. That was pretty unbearable. The Utawari no Mono sequel. That was unbearable. But if I had to pick the worst show that just like let me down and hurt my feelings, it was probably Magical Lyrical Nanoha Vivid, just because of like of the pedigree of Nanoha being like a very popular show with magical girls, and then Vivid was just like this steaming pile of shit that just reached his hand and like a thief just took my heart out and just crushed it. And I was like, you know all those good memories you had about Lyrical Nanoha? Well, fuck those. Now all you're going to think about is Nanoha Vivid, the pile of shit. There you go.
I see Rez is saying his worst show was Guilty Crown. I've never seen that show, but the soundtrack is great, so can't be all bad. It's another Sawano.
There were a lot of bad. There was a lot of bad stuff. I mean, this podcast covers the whole damn decade, so there's even shit like Dokubu, the Lolicon basketball show, like all this shit, all this crap is in this. It qualifies. So there's
DS EDA.
Oh God, Amnesia. Oh.
God, I feel so pure by not watching.
You
Amnesia.
preferred Amnesia. Wait, is that in this decade?
This podcast began roughly at the start of the decade, so it has literally encompassed the whole decade.
Oh yeah, it is. You chose Amnesia. Oh, you chose Blood Blockade Battlefield, whatever it is, over Amnesia.
That was no. That was just the show that tormented me personally, but no one else.
Oh, okay.
But you're right. Amnesia was pretty fucking bad, and so was there was like fuck it. I don't even want to think about it anymore. I'm done. Pupa was very bad.
Understatement of the year, of the decade, even.
Yeah.
It's a great cooking show.
Oh my God.
Obviously, the movies don't need to run through those too much. Obviously, Your Name, Silent Voice, Wolf Children, top the list. Kizumonogatari, Wind Rises, Disappearance of Harui, Liz and the Bluebird were all like the second grouping. So there's kind of the upper echelons of these are the super popular ones that everyone's seen. But
yeah, the Disappearance of Haruhi took the whole damn decade for you to watch it because the movie's like 4 hours long.
Yeah, it's like 3.5 hours long. But it is good. My personal favorites were Colorful Dokusei, which is the classmates, and Tale of Princess Kaguya. I thought those were all pretty solid.
Which I just saw in theaters, and oh my God, it's so good. God, it's just unbelievable. Just so good. If you didn't see Princess Kaguya, some of the scenes in that, the scene where she runs out of like the castle thing that she's in, and through the woods.
With the bamboo like groves just whipping.
God,
yeah.
God, it's so good.
Spoilers: there's bamboo in the story of the Bamboo Girl.
Takahata is such a fucking genius. I mean, it's just stupid.
I think that's my favorite Takahata film.
I actually forgot about Kizumonogatari. I just completely forgot about it. But also, colorful dokusei. Kase-san and Morning Glories was great, and I loved the movie Into the Forest of Fireflies Light, which was by the same author of Natsume Eugene Cho's. So that hit a special place in me. But
Nice.
All right. Is there a decade ranking, like by year?
What do you mean?
Did people was there a vote that said, like, oh, the best year was X?
Yep. So that's at the very bottom there. I was too lazy to do all the calculations. Essentially, the audience voted 2018 as the best year of the decade.
Oh, get out of here.
That was the one with Place Further, Rascal, Run with the Wind, Violet Evergarden. I think a lot of that is just it was recent enough that people remembered it fondly, but like
Wow.
old enough that people are like could look back on it nostalgically.
I thought
I
2012.
almost chose it too. I guess that was really hard for me.
I voted 2014 as my favorite year, as I mentioned above. There was so much top tier stuff there that I couldn't ignore that year.
Well,
I also chose 2014 because, man, it was a hard one between 2014 and 2018. Both of those had a lot of shows. I was like, man, it's hard for me to pick just one of them.
my best year of the decade was 1999. Just kidding. I think 2012 probably.
Okay. Nice. So do we want to run through our top 10 overall, or
Do it quickly.
Yeah, I don't.
Let's do it real quick.
I can try. I mean, I don't really have.
No
an organized list.
No worries. I kind of sprung this on Mitsugi at the very end, so don't blame him, blame me. So you
can blame me.
I'll go through the viewers first. So I had to apply a weighting score because a lot of things, and there's no right answer to this. Like if you go by who got the most number of votes, as in I had listeners rate their shows from 10 to 1. The first place show I gave 10 points to, the fifth place show, and as you go all the way down to 10, it got 1 point. So you got more points if you were a number 1 rated show. So obviously shows that got a ton of votes and therefore had a higher score, like Attack on Titan had the highest score overall. If it was like number 7, but on a ton of people's lists, does that count more than a show that was rated number 1, but only on a couple people's lists?
Mason's cheating.
I am cheating. I am rigging the vote here. So considering all of that, considering my unscientific way of moving things around, the order from number 10 to 1, according to you, the viewers, goes Violet Evergarden, March Comes In Like a Lion, and for that, I kind of grouped all of that together, so the series collectively. Number 8, My Hero Academia. Number 7, Ping Pong the Animation. Number 6, Hunter x Hunter. Number 5, Attack on Titan. Number 4, Your Lie in April. Number 3, Mob Psycho 100. Number 2, Steins Gate. And number 1, Rakugo Shinju. So if you want to see actually how those scores break down by number of votes and all of that stuff, look at the podcast document, people. It's very funny. Mandi, you want to run through your top 10?
Yeah, I'll go from 10 to 1. Wari Monogatari, Eccentric Family, Place Further in the Universe, March Comes In Like a Lion, Mob Psycho 100, The Tatami Galaxy, Natsume Season 4, Mushishi, Rakugo Shinju, and then Hunter x Hunter. I made a big old black box down for Hunter x Hunter and said I had to make this longer so it wasn't obvious what I chose.
Didn't even see that. It's hilarious. 10 to 1 for me, really quick. Mob Psycho 100. Just season 1, though, not season 2. Anyway, number 9, Katanagatari, Owari Monogatari, The Eccentric Family, Shirobako, Rakugo Shinju, March Comes In Like a Lion, Mushishi, Ping Pong, and the Tatami Galaxy is number 1.
I don't have a list. If you guys want to see the things I liked from the last decade, you can go to our website and click the review link on the top bar, and you can just filter me by like 5s and 4s or whatever, and you'll see it. My bad.
But you do have your favorite show overall.
Oh yeah, my favorite show overall is Space Brothers. Yeah, although I almost put Hunter x Hunter, but Space Brothers.
See, I have an ally here.
Space Brothers is even though it didn't get an ending in the TV series, it's just too fucking
Just like
good.
Hunter x Hunter. Just like Hunter.
I mean, fair enough, but it's just
It has an ending.
It ends.
Space Brothers doesn't at all. They didn't even try, but like it's just too damn good. It's just
Very
too
nice.
good.
Very
it's just
nice.
too good.
Well, I think that about wraps up a whole lot of shows. Hopefully you've gotten some recommendations. Hopefully there's not too many things that you're like, oh, dang, I completely slept on that. Because all these are great shows. We'll post the results all over the place, social media, Discord. And if you want to participate in more like this, you have another chance for Best of 2019. We're really going to get into the weeds of this last year. But before we go on to our news break, we have another Intro Weekly trivia question, and that is, what is the name of the large cannon on the spaceship, or the space battleship Yamato? Think about it. I know you know it, but we'll let you know what it is after our break. See you in a bit.
Guys, Mitsugi is back, and I'm here bringing you another round of your anime news, starting off this time with Makoto Shinkai. The film director Makoto Shinkai accepted an award at Kodansha's inaugural Noda Publishing Culture Award ceremony on Tuesday, which was given to him for his contributions to the publishing that he's done in the publishing world. He penned his latest film, The Weathering with You, which topped Oricon's overall charts with 511,000 copies sold, and it's the second time that Shinkai has topped this chart after his movie Your Name was hugely popular. So Shinkai commented on his win, quote, "This was a big year for films. We made Your Name and Weathering with You, but in an overwhelming face of Disney and Hollywood, I've been wondering what kinds of works we should create and what we should accomplish." So pretty nice quote from Shinkai, successful guy. He'll probably keep winning lots of awards in the future, and we'll all be enjoying his films. Next up, Demon Slayer sweeps the Japanese Internet Buzzword Awards. I didn't even know they had this, but the top Japanese Internet Buzzwords of 2019 were compiled on a Nico Nico live stream on Sunday, with the winning word was Niji Sanji, referring to a popular group of virtual performers on YouTube. Demon Slayer also won at the awards, getting 6 related terms in the top 20, including Zenitsu, Agamatsu, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Tanjiro Kamado, Hashira, 12 Demon Moons, and Shinobu Kocho. So if you're a fan of Demon Slayer, well, it's pretty damn popular, guys, so you can bet that this isn't going to go away anytime soon. You'll have lots of content to enjoy in the future. Next up, The Promised Neverland is returning to us in this news break as well. The official Twitter account for the property announced that it's getting a third novel, and it's going to tell, quote, the secret story behind, quote, that character, or whatever the hell that means. The manga's first novel shipped in Japan in June 2018, and the second novel, titled The Promised Neverland, Mom's Song of Remembrance, came out on January 4th. So if you're a fan of this property, I guess there's more coming, and you'll have more novels to read and enjoy the property while you potentially wait for the new season of the anime to come out in October. Next up, Manga Entertainment has announced its Q1 2020 release schedules. In January, there's going to be a lot of stuff, lots of Code Geass DVDs releasing, Tanya the Evil, Dragon Ball Super, One Punch Man, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, box sets, all coming out. In February, Hellsing Ultimate, SSSS Gridman, Zombieland Saga, How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, more JoJo, Star Blazers, Battleship Yamato, which we're going to be reviewing today. The complete series is also coming out in February. In March, Radiant Fruits Baskets 2019 Season 1 Part 2 is coming out on DVD and Blu-ray. Black Clover Season 2 Part 1, Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2, The Rising of the Shield Hero, and Heroic Age complete series all coming out in March. So lots of good stuff for you to enjoy from Manga Entertainment coming out in Q1 of 2020. This is Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break, and you know what's coming up. Time to get back to the podcast. Guys and girls out there, JList.com knows what you love, and they know you love Pokemon, and the new Pokemon game has come out to great success. And of course, JList and JBox.com are carrying tons of new Pokemon merchandise for you to enjoy. They have so many new plushies, every Eevee you could possibly imagine, Pikachu, Snorlax, Cubone, Mew, Charmander, Psyduck, Bulbasaur, all your favorites. Head over there to JList.com or JBox.com. and grab yourself a really cute plushie that you can hug in your arms while you play your new Pokemon game. It'll be so much fun when you're kicking ass with a Snorlax while Snorlax is cuddled in your arms. You can get them in Munya, Maru, and normal plushie versions, and they even have neck pillows. All this stuff under $17 or less from JList or JBox.com. Head over there. Don't miss out. Grab yourself some cute new stuff to enjoy while you're playing your Pokemon games.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Glass, voice of Winry from Full Metal Alchemist, and Haruhi from Oran High School Host Club, and I am an anime addict.
You know me? Of course!
Hey guys, and we are back. So before we went on break, we asked a question. What is the name of the large cannon on the space battleship Yamato? And the answer is the Wave Motion Gun.
Damn right it is.
Sorry, it took me a while to come back from break because I broke my headset and I had to fix it. Sorry about that.
All right. Well, guys, as always, we're going to read a 5-star review for you from iTunes. If you want to leave a 5-star review, we just broke 600 reviews on iTunes, so thank you so much. Every time we get, I don't know, it's just awesome. I just love it. So it's nice when people are checking out the podcast on iTunes and they go, damn, this one's got 5. This one's average ratings of 4.8 out of 5, and they got 600 reviews. That really helps us out a lot, guys. So thanks so much for everything you've done over the years, and please keep them coming because we're greedy.
It's time for iTunes review.
This one comes from Straw Hat Willow. And they write, my anime addiction at an all-time high.
Damn right.
I've recently discovered this podcast, and ever since my anime addiction has gotten out of control, I look forward to listening every week. I want to thank you all for putting so much of your time and effort into this podcast. I've discovered multiple great anime through listening and will continue listening. I love the show and I love the host. 5 stars all day. Straw Hat Will O. Thank you so much, my dude. That was
all right.
Yes, thank you.
Well written, and it was easy to read, and I didn't have to look like an idiot, so thank you.
Straw Hat Willow.
Willow.
Yeah, giant thank you. And also, if there's something that we are doing wrong, please let us know so
Talk
we know
some
how to
shit.
fix it.
Talk some
Yeah,
shit.
it's how we
Yeah.
improve.
I also love critiquing so that because until you tell us, we don't know. So
Yeah, and so
please leave us comments.
talk shit in your review if you want, but still make it 5 out of 5.
Yeah, that's all we care about.
Because we will read it. So we're going to do a review on Space Battleship Yamato from 1974. It's a retro review because we started doing our retro reviews as part of our pass-fail process when we hit a season that just doesn't have enough oomph in it to make us happy. We fill the gap with something that is classic or something we want to watch from the past. And so this was one of those from last season, from the fall. Pretty fun show with a simple premise. It's in the year 2199, which I always think it's funny when like you watching a TV show or a movie and like Akira, for example. Akira's not set that far in the future, right? So you'll like watch it. It's like 1990 and you're watching this movie and they're like, in the year 2020. And back then you're like, damn, what's 2020 going to look like? And then you get to 2020 and then you watch the movie and it's funny. But
Let me just look out my window.
Yeah. Same as it did 25 years ago. But we're never going to get none of us are making it to 2199, which is probably good because Earth by that point has been rendered uninhabitable by an endless bombardment by the Gamillis Empire as they rain meteor bombs down on Earth, which carry pollutants that have forced inhabitants to go underground to escape the radioactive surface of the Earth. And so basically, an last-ditch effort to save humanity, as my girlfriend's dog eats all of my cat's food for the 4th time today, they resurrect an old World War II Japanese battleship called the Yamato, which has been refitted for space travel, and it sets off on this very unlikely to succeed journey to a planet that is 148,000 light years away from Earth, because a random message. This is how desperate Earth is. A random message from Starsha, a person from a planet they've never heard of called Iskandar, says that they have a device that can help purify the toxins on Earth. So, based on the ramblings of a person from a planet that they've never met, they set off on a journey, 296,000 mile light year round trip journey to save Earth. And that's the synopsis of Space Battleship Yamato. Done by Studio TAC, which they did Technolize, Grappler Baki, Touch. They went bankrupt in 2010 and liquidated all their assets, so you probably haven't really heard of them recently for obvious reasons, but they had done some good stuff in the past. And the director, the just very famous, very well-known Daiji Matsumoto, who has done other great things like Galaxy Express 999 and also Captain Harlock. So,
he did all of them. I didn't know.
Which I could see us doing, reviewing those also as a retro review for sure, because they're very classic. So, what do you guys think? What were you guys expecting coming into Space Battleship Yamato?
I knew it was a very influential anime from the past, and that's all I knew about it. I didn't really know much of anything going in except space. That's all I knew. Space and stuff and ships and a cool theme song. And a cool theme song.
Yeah.
The theme song was cool. So I'm not a big fan of this epic space opera genre. I tend to find that they fall.
Says the biggest Legend of the Galactic Heroes fan.
I tend to find they fall way short of my expectations.
Don't be an elitist.
Of their praise.
Sorry.
Star Wars, Gundam, Captain Harlock, etc. It's all terrible. I hate all of it. I can't stand it.
Wait a second. Did you just single-handedly dismiss all 40 Gundam series all at once with a mere utterance?
Thunderbolt is pretty cool. That's about it.
Mason wields a degree of power that I can only, in my wildest dreams, hope to even sniff.
I'm just gonna drink my coffee.
I don't need it. The genre is not for me, clearly.
Well, it's fine.
But one day I watched Legend of the Galactic Heroes, and it blew me away. And I'm like, you know what? There might be hope yet for this genre, for this poor, pathetic little thing that tries to be ambitious, but falling flat. So I tried, back in the day, I watched Space Battleship Yamato 2199, which is the remake of the series, which we are reviewing today. And that is often regarded as a far superior piece of work. And I did not like that series. It reaffirmed a lot of my issues with the genre, and there was frustrating plot contrivances and just moments where you had to suspend disbelief, and it just hurt my investment. So I went into this one, which is the original work, which is, like Mandi said, very influential, very revered, and I was hoping that I could find, was the issues with the remake new, or was this bad from the beginning?
Uh-oh.
So that's what I was going in with this in mind.
For me, I do like space opera stuff. I love Crest of the Stars and Banner of the Stars. You guys have heard me talk about that series a lot. And there's other things as well that fall into the. I like a lot of the Gundam stuff. I like shows that are adventurous, and I love military strategy, and so a lot of these shows tend to have some of that stuff in it. So you'll have big space battles and stuff, and so I didn't know much about this show. I knew that it's like a foundational classic for anime, but I didn't know a lot about it. But I thought that there would be a lot of basically what I thought I was going to get what I did get, which was a lot of adventurous outer space travel and a classic story. So pretty much. Now the question is, would you guys recommend the anime?
Um, so like I said before, Space Battleship Yamato is a very important piece of anime history. It's one of Japan's most influential anime series, inspiring very well-known series that a few of you have already mentioned, such as Evangelion, Macross, Gundam, and even Star Wars, even the game Space Invaders. So it's hard to imagine what a lot of those series would be like today without the influence of Yamato.
Respect.
And there are some. I'm sorry?
I said respect.
Oh, yeah. And there are some retro series that do age very well. Like, I remember Rosa Versailles being very good for its age. I'm not so sure Yamato aged very well. It feels very dated. But I have heard a lot of people, I mean, Mason already mentioned the remake. I have heard a lot of people say that the remake is far superior in the way to experience this. So maybe that'll be better. I don't know. I'll have to watch it after I finish Gintama eventually. But yeah, so I think if you really want to see the inspiration behind a lot of our favorite franchises, then check that out. It's only 26 episodes, and you'll know straight away whether or not this is something you'll be able to keep up with. With that said, I think my only issues with this were very bland characters, but and I wasn't really all that interested in a lot of the characters or their struggles, which is an issue when you're trying to root for mankind. But
Sure.
the series also like attempts to create like a morally gray conflict with the villains, and I don't think it does a good job of making them sympathetic. They're very like, I know it's a cartoon for kids, but they're still very cartoonishly evil. And yeah, so it made it hard for me to sympathize with the villains when we finally get to figure out what's going on with them. But I definitely see why people fell in love with it, and I think it's very unique for the time it came out.
Yeah.
And maybe not so much in 2019 where we've seen this same struggle a billion times, but for when it came out, I think it was very unique for that time. So, yeah.
Mason?
I'd say check it out if you are interested in anime history. If not, I don't know, there's other things.
This is the classic OK Boomer show.
Oh boy.
Let me look at my my watch says we're in 2019 right now. This show does not hold up at all, like Mandi said. Look, if you like classic sci-fi and you want to go to the zoo and look at the bones of the animals that used to be there and be like, man,
Jesus.
wow, I can appreciate what used to be here and how this set it up. If you want that, absolutely go watch it. It definitely fits that mold. But no, don't watch this version. Watch the remake, if anything, but even that I wouldn't strongly recommend. But like I agree with Mandi across the board. It's just not a great show, and this is not the way to watch it. So don't watch this show. Just don't. But watch us rip on it for the next 20 minutes, and that's all I gotta say.
I'm just gonna say the English dub is real good, guys.
The English dub is. That's the end of that sentence. It is. It exists.
The show's not perfect. I mean, I'm kind of surprised to hear you guys like criticizing the way it looks. I mean, it's 50 damn years old.
I didn't do that.
Well,
I didn't criticize how it looks.
Mason did.
Look,
You both
I
said
understand it's 1970s.
I mean, you both said it didn't hold up. I mean, of course not.
No, I'm gonna say a lot of the comedy and a lot of just the.
Okay, well, Mason said it didn't hold up visually. I mean,
I've talked a lot, like in the last episode, like the charm and the aesthetics about like the late 80s thing, and I love that visual flair. And there's a bit of that charm here, but just the mid 70s doesn't hold my interest. These Scooby-Doo looking goobers just flop around the screen, and I just can't believe any of it.
Don't you put down Crypt Keeper?
Maybe it's just a little too out of my millennial scope, but it just. I don't like the look. And I've watched, Rosa Versailles, and that, yes, it has a similar stiffness to it, but it fits the prim and properness of the setting. Something about this just wasn't appealing to look at or listen to, and I will certainly get into that moving forward. Space
Battleship Yamato is flawed. It is old. It's flawed. I think, but I'm gonna recommend. I'm gonna say everybody should watch this show. I think that if you're listening to an anime podcast, chances are you're a pretty diehard anime fan. and you're probably watching a lot of anime, and you need to know where you came from. Like, this is the old man speech, right? You need to know that these shows are what inspired the things that you love from today. And really, it's not like it's a terrible show to watch, and it's not that long either. So, to be honest, it is flawed. It's probably not the best space opera show that exists, but it's like I can't preach to people go watch the old Ghibli movies because it's important to see like the shows that inspire a lot of history. I can't preach to people go watch Akira, and in the same breath preach to people don't watch Space Battleship Yamato, because to me they're the same for a lot of ways. They just inspire too many things. Just like how I wouldn't say, oh, you're an epic, you're a diehard music fan. Well, you need to go listen to some Mozart, because these old guys inspired everything that you listen to today. So even though it's flawed, and we'll get to that, people should watch Space Battleship Yamato just like they should watch Ghost in the Shell, the movie or whatever.
I agree.
So I'm going to say watch it.
So much.
So I honestly, this show could be bad, and I would still say watch it because it's a piece of history.
You want answers? It is bad.
I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
All right. Here comes some more in-depth discussion.
What's wrong, Mason?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I am all about respecting the greats, learning the history, seeing how far we've come. I absolutely agree. I think, like Mandi said, you could watch an episode of the show and get it. You don't need to watch any more. You can say, yes, that was bad, and I'm done wasting my time. I'm all about, appreciating the history. But at some point in the day, that's over 10 hours of your life. That's not worth devoting to this show.
Well, wait a second. 10 hours? It's not 10. It's not.
It's enough.
They're only 20-minute episodes.
Most 26 episode anime.
You're not skipping that OP. I'll tell you that much. That opening is the only part about it.
I love it.
Oh God.
Salaba chikyu yo tabitatsu fune wa uchuu senkan Yamato.
All right, you've convinced me. 5 out of 5. No.
Searching for a distant star, heading off to Iskantar.
Listen, I marched around in my room in my underwear for 2 hours to that song.
I believe it's it.
It is a march.
I saw it.
You saw it?
Yeah, he was out doing his road blockade Battlefront.
The theme song's awesome.
Around across
Yeah. So the story, my problems with Space Battleship Yamato are almost entirely pacing based. I thought that this show was a fantastic and engaging show for about 8 episodes. And then when it got to the middle and it was just like, oh, on these 2 episodes, the Gamillis enemy is going to throw some unreasonable amount of resources at the Yamato in space and ultimately fail over and over and over again. And it just got bombs, artificial suns, like they're blasting it with like lasers with mirrors that surround Pluto. I mean, they try everything and they just fail.
Landmines kill me.
Everything. And it's just like the pacing is so poor, and the problem with it is that like it has it's like they spent 80% of the runtime on like these little war games in space, and then they actually get to the planet that they're trying to arrive at on like episode 24, and then there's no time for the ending. I'm
zip on back to Earth.
Listen, there's a second season. I didn't watch it. The second season may cover more of that stuff from on Earth, but like they spend 13 episodes to leave our solar system. Somehow they get all the way, which by the way I looked it up. The distance between our planet and Pluto is 0.002 light years. Well, they got another 148,000 light years to go, but yet they cover that distance in just a few episodes, and then they make it all the way back to Earth in like 15 minutes. And I was just like, it's just the pacing didn't work. It was very not balanced well, and that was my biggest problem with it.
Yeah. Also, the English dubs, like it's the only way I could find it to watch it. It was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. I laughed my ass off the entire thing. I actually enjoyed myself quite a bit because I wouldn't say the voice acting is good, but it's real bad. And there's so
very
many times
Garzy's
where
Wing-esque.
there were so many times where someone would say something super serious, and then the response was like, "Oh, did you? Nova might die. Oh, yeah."
We're going to crash the planet into the Yamato. Haha.
Does
So
it
many
sound
good parts.
better or worse than our Let's Play voice acting?
I'd say about on par.
Okay, that's pretty bad.
When do you know when the dub was made? Because dubbing used to be, as like Steve Bloom will.
78.
Okay, yeah. Steve Bloom would tell you like he used to like go into a room dug out of the side of a hill with like a just like these embarrassing like setups, and that was in like the 80s and 90s, I think. So I can't even imagine what this should look like in the 70s.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Like I know it's probably not their fault at all. That I'm sure there's not much directing behind what it like back then. I don't know, but oof, it was something.
I just picture scenes where they're kind of scampering around the bridge and they're going. I can't even whistle that. I can't whistle it, but it's like when they have like the woo noise and they're like the feet like.
Oh yeah.
They're running in place.
I mean, speaking of just like the sound of this thing, the only part I liked was like there's no bass anywhere. Like they didn't have the capacity to record like deep things. So everything like lasers especially sounded very like squiggly, and it was very funny every time they fired.
What is a squiggly sound?
Yeah, what is that? Can you imitate that, please?
You can. I'm not gonna make an idiot.
Should I Google squiggle sound?
Yeah, look it up, or just watch.
Will I find something?
Or watch any of the show when they fire anything, and there's no depth to it, and
Squiggle
squiggly
sound.
But I thought the soundtrack was all right. It had some like mournful pieces that made things sound pretty impactful, but every other sound in this thing was just, as Mandi might agree with me, it was kind of laughable.
Can I ask you guys a question? Have either of you seen? So like this is only the second anime I've ever seen from the 70s, through all the way through, and the first one is Future Boy Conan. Have either of you seen Future Boy Conan?
No, but I would like to.
Okay, because we're commenting a lot about stuff that I think is the result of it being really old.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I have a tough time criticizing it for that, because it's like Future Boy Conan's a Miyazaki anime, and I'm telling you, it doesn't look all that much better than this one does.
Mm-hmm. There are also, we didn't know as much about space back then as well. Like we did think that Mars had water on it, but that kind of stuff is dated.
I've seen Anne of Green Gables, Ashino Joe, Belladonna of Sadness, Lupin.
I've seen that one.
And Rosa Versailles. All of those were from the 70s, and all of those looked and sounded far better than this.
I gotta pull up my list here and see how many I've seen from the 70s, but off the top of my head, it's just the two. So, okay. Well, I mean,
and I agree and disagree. I agree that yes, this is just a product of the time, and while we can't officially like hold that accountable against them for the production woes and difficulties they had to overcome, I am viewing this through a 2019 lens with 2019 standards, and it fell far short. I mean, things like the plot, for example. I'm sure back then a lot of these points of like the enemies really aren't that bad. They're just like us. Or, they get this wave motion gun, and really what's the price of having that power? What's the impact of using it? And how do we treat the losers of a war? Like, are they the bad guys? Are they the good guys? All that kind of stuff. Like, yes, that probably was more fresh and exciting back then. But from looking at it nowadays, it's all been done before and all done better. And I don't know why I wouldn't recommend anyone to go back and watch it now, other than to say, yes, I see where we've come and see where we're going, but there wasn't anything to it. It wasn't substantive enough that I would recommend it.
But imagine if that's all you had back then.
But we're not back then.
How fresh and new that was.
We're not back then.
It's not that's not the show's fault that you waited till now to watch it.
I mean, yeah, it's tough. I mean, we may as well not watch shows that are really old. I mean, if we're gonna tear them apart for being old.
I would say this is similar to the point of, say you're watching an anime and it's adapting a manga, and something in the manga was really poorly done. Can you hold the anime accountable for the weak points of the manga? I say yes. I say you're accountable for everything you adapt.
Not always, because sometimes there are, in their contract, you cannot change stuff. So,
and that would be a fault with the show. You can't split it off.
Aren't these technological limitations, though? Anyway, I mean...
I'm just saying it's a state of mind. It's how you look at it. So I would say regardless, I had all these issues with the remake, regardless of the production values. They were just that much more apparent and grating in this one.
So, some of the things that I really enjoyed about the show, I thought that some of the battle scenes in the show were pretty cool. The scene when they actually shoot the Pluto with the wave motion gun and blow it to smithereens was pretty neat. Seeing the wave motion gun just in general and like the explanation of how it works is nice. I love anime that take place in space when a lot of the action takes place on the bridge of the ship. And like when they first get into the Yamato, by the way, this anime is so nationalistic. I mean, it's unbelievable. This just side tangent, this anime is dripping with Japanese pride that they resurrected a sunken World War II battleship and turned it into an indestructible space vessel that is saving humanity. It's so nationalistic. It's so great. But the just like when they're first like exploring the Yamato and they don't know shit about it, and it first breaks out of like the mud that it's sitting in, and they get onto the bridge and they have like all the controls and you're looking at it for the first time. I just love that. I think it's so neat seeing and I feel that way about like every space show where there's like a commander on the bridge with a sword who's like commanding people to fire and stuff like that. Really neat. And the explanations of how like the wave motion gun takes the energy from the engine of the ship and uses it to fire, like there's like the tachyon particles or whatever the hell they were talking about, like that kind of stuff really tickles me. And that's the kind of shit I like. I kind of feel like there wasn't quite enough of it in the show, but like I really appreciated that. And it's just neat. I don't know. It's just neat. Like seeing the bridge and all the chairs and all the different gadgets and gizmos they use to fire the guns, and they have like when they're warping and he's trying to like stop the little he's trying to time the warp between like the waves of time or whatever. Like all that shit just gets me. I love it.
I agree that I like the little moments of like realism, and you're like, oh, I could see being in that place. And I also agree that the kind of the fake sci-fi where, oh, the tachyon conductor is like just the gobbledygook, just the makeup.
Yeah.
Like none of that bothers me. Like you're obviously just making a case for why the engine can do what it does. No problem there. Going off of something that Mandi said though earlier, I would say that all the characters by themselves are not fleshed out at all. They're very one-dimensional. But the main character in itself is like the collective ship. Like everyone is the members of this one unit, and the character is the Yamato. And that's, I think, kind of goes in line with Mitz's comment of very nationalistic.
Oh my god, yeah.
By ourselves, we are simple beings, meat flesh creatures, but together, that's like the main character.
Yeah. Going off what Mitz was saying, I actually thought a lot of the explosions were really cool. There were some explosions in space. I was like, oh, that looked really cool. Like I liked how they were. But yeah, I agree. There a lot of the characters very bland to me. It was funny because the pervert like robot was actually like one of the most interesting characters to me. Analyzer / what was it, IQ9? I like the episode. I don't know. I'm a sucker for themes of AI intelligence and trying to figure out, am I human or not? And I liked his episode. It's like, can I be in love? And it reminded me a lot of Pluto because I love Pluto. But yeah, I don't know. It was very interesting. I think my biggest disappointment was the bad guys for me. Yep. I don't know, because like throughout the whole thing, they were very cartoonishly evil. And I know it's a cartoon for kids, but it was when they tried to start the like, oh yeah, we just needed a new place to live and try to make them sympathetic. I was like, I don't know. They kind of, it's like cartoonishly evil guy with a wine glass, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of silly for me.
So one of the criticisms that Banner and Crest of the Stars gets is that the villains in that show are faceless for the most part. You know that they're human because it's Ob versus Humankind Empire, right? Or it's Humankind Empire Ob versus the United Mankind. And so there are a few moments where you see the villains in that series, but it gets criticized for that. And my thought is that there's some value to having a very terrible, like, evil race of something that's destroying you or destroying the planet or whatever, and then letting the viewer kind of envision what they would look like. I agree. This show, they're like, here they are, and wow, are they disappointing? Because they're basically humans. They're humans and they're blue, and they're really dumb. They're really dumb. And
well, it starts off as an unnamed threat, and then they find the pilot in like episode 12, and that's when they're like, oh, he's just like us. Okay, you're probably not that bad then. Go ahead. And it's like, oh, the leaders are the bad guys. It's the troops that are.
Well, and the big problem with that is, at this point in the show, I don't really care. Like, I really didn't give I didn't really care for them trying to make them seem sympathetic, because it's like, okay, they're just like us. They look human. Wow. They just fucking destroyed Earth. They eradicated everybody. They've destroyed the entire human race. I don't really care if they look human or if they look like dogs or fucking apple trees. You know, they're evil. Then they need to go. Like, they were just going to bomb you until you were dead, and there's no room for sympathy. So I don't know about all this giving them food and all this. Like, the captain's a good guy. I get it. He's a great leader and honestly a great character, and his hat is cool. But, like, you know what? Fuck those guys. They were fucking bombing you to extinction.
I agree. Like, I think I would have liked it more if they had kept the, what they call
Gamilluses or whatever.
Yeah, if they had kept them a complete secret up to the moment where they removed the suit. It's unfortunate we got to see all those moments of, we're gonna get you, star lasers. You know, like, it was just so silly. If they had kept it a secret up to that moment and be like, oh shit, they look just like humans and they are just like us, I think I would have enjoyed it more instead of all of these weird moments where I'm like, I don't know.
They're hard to know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. There were some decent plot twists at the end of the show that were enjoyable, but like I said, they didn't really they didn't give, there was no time at the end of the show for the ending. So, you know, I just didn't feel like it wasn't and Dessler or whatever his name is, his like final stand was so disappointing. Yeah, oh yeah. He was just
very disappointing.
So anticlimactic, like.
Yeah.
So
if you try to listen to that cheer in English, it's so funny because they all have trouble saying Deslock. It's like a whole crowd of Deslock. It's so funny. I was cracking up every time.
They're all dyslexic over Deslock.
Yeah, they're having some trouble with it. It's really funny.
But as I said before, even though this show is flawed in a number of ways, namely, the pacing is just brutal. Like I actually skipped a few episodes in the middle because I'm sorry, the episode where the girl and the robot got trapped on the planet together, I realized very quickly that episode was just bullshit and just skipped it. But people still gotta at least need to watch some of it and know what the story is and know and appreciate that they tried to make an epic space opera in the fucking 70s. Like, it's the 70s. Like, this shit is as old as half our audience's parents, you know? And, like, it's just, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of anime today that aren't as ambitious. So they tried really hard. It looks old. It's got really cheesy villains. But for God's sake, it's your history as a fan. So I'm just gonna preach there. I'm gonna leave my preachiness there. My popey preachiness. But yeah, I'm not sure what else to say really. I mean, I mean, I'm not going to dive into like the history of the show and whatnot.
I think I'm good to score it.
I can't wait to hear Mason's score.
Oh,
do
you
want me to
know
go
what
first?
it is.
I'll go first, I guess. I think it's fitting that we are reviewing a retro, or I should say, in the episode where we lament the finest of the modern era of anime, we get to review one of my least favorite of the past. I agree with Mitz. I think watch an episode, watch 2 episodes at the most. Get a feel for it, but don't watch this version. If anything, if you really want to see kind of the story of this groundbreaking thing, watch the 2012 version. The visual presentation is far better, the characters are more engaging, the themes are deeper, and the science is less hand-wavy. And nothing in this show is in my wheelhouse, and it was just a slog to get through. If you were to watch this in the 70s, when things weren't already so played out, like, sure, maybe I'd give it a 2.5 out of 5. But in the modern day, in 2019, do not watch this version. I surely wish I didn't. I'm going to give it 1 spaceship battleship rotten tomato out of 5.
Damn. Holy shit.
This was a nightmare.
Oh. Mandy?
Yeah, like I said before, this is a part of anime history. I didn't think it was nearly as hard to watch as Mason thought.
Okay, boomer.
I mean, I am much older than you. You are a baby. But yeah, I didn't think it was that bad. It definitely has flaws. There are some things that I was very disappointed with, but yeah, it is a part of history. Like Hideaki Anno actually said this is his favorite anime of all time. So without it, we don't know where Evangelion would be. But
maybe nowhere.
He would have made it instead of waiting all this time.
Yeah, like I don't know. I thought it was okay, so I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, it's anime history, and even more so than like the Pat Labor show that we watched earlier, and it's got its flaws. It's also some of the things that make it flawed because it's old also make it charming. It's kind of cute when they shoot the laser and it like kind of slides out of the cannon like a
squiggle.
Like in modern day they would have like a flash and then there'd be like an explosion. But this one it's almost like it slides out like a snake and collides with the target and explodes. Like, I don't know. It's got some charm to it being so old. And I really love some of the characters in it. The captain is great. Kodai is a good character, and Yuki is a pretty good character. It was okay, and I think that it got worse as it went along. Unfortunately, I was really, really excited watching it for about 8 episodes, and then when it just became like, one unreasonable amount of resources after another, like we'll destroy them with the artificial sun. That's like okay, like okay. Yeah, like we're gonna destroy the entire artificial sun to try to take out one ship, and then ultimately fail. But people should watch it if you have the time to go back and explore anime history. And I'm gonna give it. I'm trying to think of something funny, but 3. You know what? 3 members of the Blue Man Group out of 5. Because
that's a good one.
Because there usually are 3 Blue Man Group people.
Mine's 3 Crypt Keepers.
3 Crypt Keepers, right? Yep.
Crypt is killing me, man.
3 wine glasses that get thrown against a wall because you're really angry because your generals are incompetent out of 5. But outside of with 3 Blue Man Group.
Mandy, what did the viewers rate this one?
Well, I messed up, guys. I'm super sorry. I put up the poll very late, so we didn't get very many votes. We only got like 5 responses, and the average was 4.
Woo!
So, but we only had 1 comment too. This is my fault. I'm super sorry. I waited until like Friday. That's my fault. But the comment that we did have was from Mariner Burt, and so this is off memory, but I think the original is now very dated. I think the remake is superior, and I would suggest people watch that instead.
Well, that's basically what Mason said. So
that's
Mason,
what I said
it too.
There we go.
That's it, guys. I have tabled our mailbags as we did do that. We did do the decade thing today, which took up some time, and you don't get to do a best anime of the decade all that often. So, but we're gonna be picking our winter. Holy shit! Do you hear that noise?
We're excited for winter picks.
Hold on a second.
That's Dora picking some jumps.
Stall for time while dog jokes.
Assault tactics. Guys, watch the remake. It's so much better. No one's gonna listen to me over this. Oh, there we go. The barking's done. No, I think we had fun with the best of the decade. There were so many good comments that you guys put in there that we just don't have time to read.
Mm-hmm.
But I appreciate it. I don't know. I have tons of fun making these things and going through it.
It was hard because there were a lot of really good shows that I was like, I wish I had a place to put this, but I don't.
That was really scary.
What was it?
My washing machine was just like violently just vadoosh, and it's like it must weigh 200 pounds or something, and it's like in the middle of the room, like it's usually in the. I'm gonna have to call the maintenance people.
Video where they throw like the brick in there, and it just like destroys itself. Very funny.
All that was in there was a blanket, so I don't know. Anyway, so
it's a weird sound. I thought a dog was choking.
Jesus. Well, there's a dog in here, and she was not having it, so she took off. She took off running. Let me make a note here.
Remove gigantic
earthquake noise. So, guys, the winter 2020 season is pretty much here. It looks like the season starts around the 5th, maybe, of January. I'm looking at the list here, and that's the 4th. There's a show on the 4th. Darwin's Game starts on the 4th. And we're probably going to end up having to do our picks maybe next week. So, I think we will have to, because that episode will come out on the 1st. So next week we're going to be doing our winter 2020 picks, which is always a lot of fun. Those are always my favorite episodes when we get to choose like what we're going to be watching. And I'm not sure what we're going to be reviewing, but there's a number of shows here from fall and a couple left over from summer. So we'll have to choose one of those. And but winter picks are coming, and a lot of excitement. So, woo! Yeah. So the chat is saying, is your washing machine off balance? Yes, probably. All right, guys, wrapping it up. Anything else we want to say before we go?
No, thanks for hanging out. This was a long one, but it was a ton of fun.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Guys, if you wanna help out the podcast, the place to be is aaapodcast.com. You can click on the link to sign up. You can support the podcast. You can get 8 extra episodes of content a month, and you can get your exclusive RSS feed. And hey, while you're doing that, you can join our Discord channel. You can check out the Manga Club on our Discord. You can check out the Anime Club, and you can check us out all over social media and on Twitter and on Facebook. Mandi, you want to give your Twitter handle?
Yeah, at Mandi, AAA_Mandi with an I. I'm so sorry. But also, have a great holiday, guys, and be safe.
Guys, we'll see you next week. Happy holidays. I hope everybody has a great Christmas. Try to love each other and have some gingerbread cookies and don't spend too much time watching anime. Spend some time with your family too if you have
watch
the luxury.
with your family
or watch with your family. Shit.
I'm watching Villain Saga with the family. It's a great time right now.
Do it, guys. We'll see you next week.
Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.